Welcome everybody to Adrift in Aldhalor, our weekly actual play D&D show set in our homebrew world of Aradun. Our music that you can hear is lovely and provided by Musicbed.com, and we use Bardly to share it amongst each other. Bardly is a really great service for your own work at your own games at home, and if you're a content creator, Musicbed is great for licensing quality music. Not sponsors or partners, we just like them. And occasionally we use Syrinscape and occasionally TabletopAudio for our Ambience. Shan is trying to catch a fly right now. You can't see it, but I'm going to bring her on so you can see it.
Damn, it's like, oh, I saw something on Instagram the other day that was like, flies have all of this space to fly around, and you want to fly in my fucking face, and I'd never felt anything.
I'm just trying to say hi.
So, go away. Hello, everybody.
But Shannon, tell us a little bit about our partners and some of those sweet discounts people can get.
I would love to. I'm going to start with Arcane Spectacles. Fuel your TTRPG adventures with Arcane Spectacles adventure mugs, available in 11-ounce and 15-ounce sizes. Their sturdy ceramic mugs, complete with high-quality printing, are perfect for TTRPG and D&D enthusiasts. Start your day with the jolt of excitement and choose your size for the ultimate gaming experience. Get yours now at arcanespectacles.com. Next, we have Underground Oracle Publishing. They are a best-selling ENnie-nominated TTRPG publisher, building new and exciting settings for the cipher system of every genre you can imagine. Each setting includes everything you need to explore its unique world, including lore, species, descriptors, foci, creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and all of the rules that you need to play. Their current focus is Herald the Blighted Plain, a crystal punk fantasy setting filled with fungal oases, massive sand seas, and long-buried magitech. For as little as $3, you can join their Patreon and help shape Harrow in each of the worlds that they create. Next, we have Edward Yorke. Eddie Yorke is our character artist. You saw all of the arts for our lovely Campaign 2 characters on our waiting screen. You'll see them cycling through our character cards in just a moment. Eddie is an illustrator based in the UK who makes art for games and books. To visit his portfolio and get in contact with him, visit eyorke.com.
A game that he worked on.
Yes.
Orbo?
Is out.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, he worked on a video game that is now out. The art is very cool, and he's been working on that for a really long time. Yeah. Really, really long time. So
I just posted a link in chat if anyone wants to check it out.
Nice.
Thanks, Steph. You the best. Yes, so do that, and then go visit his website at eyorke.com and just follow him on social media because his art is amazing. Next, we have 1985 Games. They create affordable, accessible, high-quality accessories for D&D and other tabletop RPGs. Sean uses their NPC cards for our campaign. You want to tell us a little bit about them, Sean?
They're cool.
Wow.
No, they're very cool. They've got personalities for the NPCs, quirks, flaws, goals, and even secrets. And they're just some really cool art on there, even if you just use the art as inspiration. I've used almost every single one from their deck to help
it's only episode 24.
Some of the NPCs that we have in our game. It's like now I've run out of them, so I have to come up with my own NPCs again, and I'm like, oh my god, it's hard. But they're great. They've got tons of other content as well.
Yes, and if you would like to purchase any of their amazing products, use the code ParadiceProd for 10% off your entire order. Last couple of things here. If you are not on Discord with us already, come join us. Sean posts recaps of every episode before we go live, so you can catch up real quick. You can also get links to our VODs when they go up. I usually post them. I'm a little behind, but I'll catch up. And just join us in Paradise, not only here on Twitch or YouTube if you're watching there, but on, do I have to say X now?
No, just say Twitter.
Twitter. It's Twitter. On Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, and hopefully Blue Sky at some point. We're working on that.
Mm-hmm. One last thing to add to Underground Oracle's publishing. I just wanted to, because they just a couple days ago announced their next cipher system setting called Wild Space. Fight against megacorps, explore new worlds, navigate bizarre anomalies, engage in Starship versus Void Titan combat, and more in their high adventure sci-fi setting. I'll post a link in chat.
That's exciting.
And all the like your characters are animal people. So that's
Very
cool. I love their Twitter post for it has #furry on it.
Awesome.
But,
already there, buddy.
Also, this weekend at my family get-together, I did have to explain what a furry was to my mom. So that was fun.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I bet that was fun.
Anything else, Shannon, before we get started?
You're all great. Thanks for being here. That's it.
Who's great? Me? I know.
Everybody.
I'll bring the boys in.
All right.
No,
Yes,
everyone
we are down a
is
couple of players tonight.
Oh, yes, I forgot to even mention that. Yeah. They're
Mhm.
traveling to a lovely vacation.
Ireland.
So we will see them in... we are without them for 2 weeks, so it's just going to be these 3 miscreants, troublemakers, ruffians,
Professional
your choice.
streamers.
Yes, that mostly that. Oh wow, I just got very bright from the sun.
Ooh. You're glowing, Sean.
I am
Glowing with the light of storytelling.
exactly. I do need to rearrange this room so this stops happening.
I was there on Saturday, and you said
Yeah,
no, so I don't
hanging out with
want
my
to
friends. The thing that is not the let's have fun together thing for me is cleaning up my apartment.
That's fair. I'm weird,
Does
and I
that
think that is
before
fun.
people show up.
Yes, and the upstairs I usually keep like a goblin cave. Like that's why no one's allowed upstairs. All right. Wow, I'm a celestial being right now.
Yes, you are. Do you have a shade on that window?
I do. It's just a bad shade.
Oh.
I'm gonna be getting,
It's all good. You'll
I'm
just
getting curtains for it. Eventually.
Well,
you'll melt over time. It's fine.
That's great.
I'm just gonna be an ASMR for the rest of this session, or until
There
the
you
sun
go.
sets.
Until the
All
sun
right.
sets on your story.
Oh, holy. Anyway, let's jump into our recap. So, splash. Last we met in the hamlet of Billowgrass, our heroes concluded their business with the town. In the morning, the party split up between the workshop and an interrogation. Bruce brought breakfast and his assistants to Septimus in the blacksmith workshop to repair Sal. Jaquet and Sass plotted to get as much info out of the bandits as they could, and Fyrn decided to separate himself from the interrogation to keep from growing frustrated, and ultimately, from that frustration leading violence. In the workshop, Septimus and Bruce put their magic and minds together to learn as much as they could about Sal's mechanical anatomy, and how they can pull his soul back into his core, or how to reignite said core. They discovered a complex weave of silver within this spheric core that needed repair, as well as other pieces. Septimus was able to channel the necessary silver into a suitable new weave, and Bruce was able to craft tools to repair the other severed wirings. With these improvisations, they repaired Sal, but they still needed to reignite this soul Septimus was talking about. Through prayer and a sacred flame, Septimus reignited this core to revive Sal. Bruce couldn't help but smile at the joyous reunion. Elsewhere, Jaquet took the wild magic sorcerer bandit Riordan and separated him from the rest of the bandits in order to interrogate him. Simultaneously, Sass turned herself invisible to spy on the bandits while they were held in Windy Mercado's basement. She learned that they feared the party, and most seemed uninterested in sticking their necks out for their comrades. But the dragonborn Fila remained stalwart, and threatened any who dare betray the group. At that moment, Riordan betrayed his group to Jaquet after some persuasive words and offerings of coin and work. Jaquet learned more about the half-orc shadowmancer Dalen, and more about the experiment he ran on the villagers of Billowgrass. Riordan specifically told them about a large elemental stone they were using to develop their elemental drugs. Additionally, he gained Reardon as an ally and potential agent for the party. Jaquet freed him and sent him off to Hyvin to await work. Fyrn listened to this interrogation with some disapproval, which he had voiced to Jaquet. Afterwards, the party reunited and went to the Onomancer to decide the fate of the rest of the bandits. The Onomancer seemed hopeful that he could rehabilitate the bandits and provide them a new life. But at the same time, he understood the dangers, and he granted the blacksmith's daughter permission to start a local militia to protect the people around Billowgrass. The party departed Billowgrass and made their way back to the bandit hideout to secure this elemental stone mentioned by Reardon. The old bandit hideout became a massive pond due to the elemental water mine the party triggered. So Sass and Fyrn swam down to retrieve the orb. During the mission, Sass's patron began intruding on her thoughts, compelling her to try and lick the stone, just as she had tried to get Sass successfully to drink seawater previously. But Fyrn kept it away from her. Now, the party returns to the road back to Hyvin and finds themselves sleeping at a familiar inn, the Coyote and Badger public house, just about a day and a half to 2 days from Billowgrass and 3 days by cart to Hyvin. So, it is the 20th of Septim, the forest dawn on a Sanctinaire. The three of you are waking up in this familiar, very basic tavern. As you recall, the amenities are slim, because this is the only tavern in the area for miles and miles and miles. So the Fyrbolg owner doesn't really have to do much to get customers. So you wake up on your hard and uncomfortable beds, a little bit of sun dripping in behind the curtains. What would you all like to do in this morning?
Robespierre, give me a back rub. I mean, by the crescent moon, my back is killing me.
There's just this like you can't see, and no one can see Robespierre, but there's just sort of like this pressure put on Jaquet, and you can tell that he's getting a deep massage.
Yes, that's
Robespierre.
That's the spot. Very good. Oh, yes.
There's nothing quite like mage hands for massages.
You always get the right spot because you know exactly where it is.
Exactly. Sass and Fyrn, what are you up to this early morning?
I imagine Fyrn is... Well, I think the last time we were at this inn, there weren't enough sleeping arrangements, and Fyrn elected to sleep out in the cart.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine he's doing the same thing this time. And it's been, almost a week just, like, basically sleeping in the cart every day. And, Fyrn's usually used to these sorts of things, but before that, he had a long stay in Hyvin, so he's starting to feel a little restless and kind of just a little impatient with the situation. And he wakes up early to do his exercises, but he's working a little slower today. He's not for some reason, the weights he's picking up aren't as strong. Maybe it's the weight on his back from carrying this extra dimensional backpack that he's not sure if it's heavy or light.
I like to imagine there's a placebo effect on Fyrn, that he feels like all his bags are heavier, even though there's no weight being added by the bag.
Yeah, like I'm not blaming it on myself. I'm like, it's definitely this weird bag that.
Yeah, it's keeping you cold in the mornings, that you don't get quite the workout you would normally get. Plus, there's not really a comfortable or a nice place to work out. The floors are cold and just sort of these wooden planks. There's not enough space in your room to do your full plyometrics and calisthenics. Outside is all muddy and gross in this area, and dirty. So it's a little uncomfortable all around as you're getting antsy, I imagine, for a nice warm bath in Hyvin. Sass.
I too would have been sleeping in the cart, but I would have left Fyrn to do his exercises and gone in to go sit at at a table for us and just be waiting for the other 2, 3, 4, the others to join.
Mm-hmm.
These flies are driving me crazy.
There's a fly flying around Sass that won't go away.
And and so
She
just
starts
like
blasting.
Yeah.
You see the Fearbog sitting there, just like spits into a cup, as he will always be, chewing some tobacco. Please don't do that.
Sorry. It's early and I don't like things in my face.
You want some stew?
Sure. And I have friends coming, so maybe some stew for.
Well, we got a good ham hock the other day, so the stew should be pretty good today. Shreds of pork in it. Threw some taters in there. It's a good one. It's a good day for the stew.
It's better than I've ate in a very long time, so sounds good. Where the fuck is everybody?
Did you hear that? Insulting Alicia's cooking like.
Yeah, right? I think Jaquet comes down and he's got a mage hand carrying the basket of provisions that she had given everyone. And seeing Sass get the stew, he just makes a face of like revulsion and goes, are you actually going to eat that?
Do you actually have that face? Yes,
Okay.
yes, I'm going to eat it, yes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, does the ocean... Oh, what is it that you always say?
You know what the ocean says.
You know what the ocean says.
Yes, you do. You know what it says. Why aren't you going to eat it? It's delicious. It's like ham and potatoes and...
Jaquet kind of looks
Celery!
over at it.
There's celery in it!
And then looks over at the Fearbog and goes, if that thing got anywhere within 5 feet of it, I'm sure it's contaminated. As he like almost in like a very like kind of like prissy way, kind of like walks over and a tablecloth like that was wrapped up in some of the stuff, like it's pulled out of the basket and slides over the table as he sets it down. And he starts making himself like a jam and cheese piece of bread.
Well, I got you a bowl, so it'd be rude not to eat it.
Yes, it would.
Fyrn walks in at this moment, and he's got a handful of some greens. It looks like it's just like thick, tall grass that he got from outside, and he's like, "Hey, Mr. Fyrbolg, I got more celery for the stew. This is the what you wanted, right?"
Oh yeah. Oh, sure. By the way, my name is Yorke.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. I just tossed the grass into the stew.
Oh, hold up there. And you see he literally puts his hand in, like, Jaquet is completely right, because he just scoops that celery out with his hands. Gonna chop it up! I don't want a whole
right.
stick of celery.
I don't feel good.
And you see he quickly brings that celery over and now just starts chopping it.
Is it actually celery or is it grass?
It's grass. No, it's
Okay.
grass. It's not celery. No.
Okay.
No, there's not just nice stalks of celery growing on the side of this this establishment. Although you would have noticed if you do walk around that there does seem to be like, since this is like at a crossroad, like the edges of this crossroad are farmland in many places, and he does seem to have access to parts of one of the farms. Like he may have a deal with them, and he can like grab corn or whatever they have in there, or whatever their harvest is that year in that particular place. But it's just him and Lucy. There's no other guests this day. So you can eat your breakfast and get situated to leave. He does have some supplies here if there's anything you want to buy. Generally, it's just, crossroad stuff. Buy a little bit of rope, a little bit of, tools here and there.
Well, I want to sit down with the other two and just say, "Hey, I just wanted to bring something up. Before we get to Hyvin, this crystal that we acquired, I know we spoke about possibly selling it to the academy, but I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do anymore.
Why not?
Why the change of heart?
I just I mean, they seem trustworthy enough, but this device was powerful enough to affect an entire village with this, strange drug. If it falls into the wrong hands, it could mean like chaos, disaster for all of Hyven.
Don't be in my hands, because somebody wants me to lick it.
Honestly, I don't know why you do it. You got powerful last time you listened to her.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's the best idea. I did. You're not wrong, but I don't know. Should I do it?
I mean,
Here, let me. Fyrn, can I hold it? I'm not gonna lick
No.
it, please. Can I just can I look at it?
I haven't even gotten a chance to look at it yet.
So that's great. So just open
That's
the bag so
okay.
we can all look at it.
I was just, I mean, hypothetically speaking, I was saying, like, why don't you? Because you get powerful. But maybe we wait for a moment when we need you to be powerful, and then you lick it, because it also wore off a little, right? Like, you only got
Yeah.
that power for so
Only
long.
for a little bit, yeah.
So,
That's not a thing anymore. I do plan on, just so you both know, when we get back, I do plan on going into the water and having a proper chat with her, just to see why the fuck she wants me to lick a fucking crystal. I also want to ask her what the fuck she meant by there's some dead person walking around Hyvin, just so you know. That's what she said. I don't know. I didn't get a lot, but she said there's a dead man walking around Hyvin, cleaning up messes or some shit.
Huh. That
Just
makes
to
no
keep
sense.
you right. But I just wanted to keep you all on the same page.
Well, we're keeping everybody on the same page. When I grabbed this crystal, I did see a face.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, you weren't there, but when we were helping Davin with his problem and we removed the spirit from his body, I saw the same face that I saw that I touched when I touched this crystal. It was a older man. He had electrical features instead of hair. It was quite alarming. I believe it might be a spirit, but I can't say for sure. It hasn't spoken to me, only revealed itself.
Didn't they say that there's a very powerful storm elemental within the crystal?
Perhaps, if they're telling the truth, yes.
Well, I mean, this is just totally spitballing here, but, there's the race, the Genasi, right? Maybe some kind of Genasi is trapped inside there. Or an elemental that's just more humanoid than others. I guess they don't all have to be just chaotic entities like we've seen in the past.
Aren't there people at the university that specialize in elemental studies?
Right, and back to Fyrn's first point about selling this, we would be giving it to
Sigil.
Sigil. And as far as I can tell, he seems like a very earnest, trustworthy man. I don't think he would allow it falling into the wrong hands.
The question is, should this thing be experimented on, or should we try to free whatever entity is inside of it?
What the fuck are we gonna do with it? Are you an elemental expert?
No, but I don't know if.
Do you remember the last
Sig-
time we tried to fuck with an elemental? Fyrn, we ended up in the middle of the fucking ocean.
I don't think that was us. I had nothing to do with that.
You were there.
So I was in the situation, but I didn't cause
You were
it.
there. You were there. So you were a part of the situation. Point is, we should give it to the professionals and not try and fuck with it ourselves, yeah?
Also, it's more gold. It's the safer bet is to sell it to. And while I love a good gamble, I don't have anything else to go off of. So if you can make a good point, if you can show me why it's better to not give it to Sigil, then we can talk. But as of right now, that's our best option.
Well, I I suppose you make a good point, but I still would like to, if there is some sort of entity inside of this thing, I would like to hear its point of view. Maybe we could find a better deal or something that's more satisfactory if we listen to it before we give it up.
Okay, maybe at camp tonight, when we're
Yeah.
not in the middle of a random tavern. Jaquet says, like, kind of leaning around Fyrn and looking at Yorke.
You
Just
think
being like,
Yarrick over here is gonna say anything?
no, I was more,
Hey, what's that?
concerned about liability and destruction of property.
Dude, what are you talking about? Destruction of property? You better not be destructing my property.
I mean, there's barely anything worthwhile here, but don't
Hey,
worry.
I got tinctures in the back.
Yeah, don't insult our host.
I mean, it's literally his job to host us.
Yeah, okay. Goes back to his.
Anyways,
All I
maybe
say is,
tonight, if you have a plan, some way to communicate, I'm more than open, but I have my reservations. And Sass,
With a mouthful
maybe
of
you
soul.
lick it.
Maybe I lick it.
Who knows? Wouldn't that just please the gods above, who had something planned out and then we just tear it all apart?
Right, well, shall we get on with it? Maybe we'll be there by the day of the week that I can't think of.
Oh, you
Sundown.
mean we gotta make it
Well, not-
back
no.
for
It's
Mondog?
not. Or Mundog.
Or would that be
fight
Cheers
night.
Dog?
No, Tears Dog, I believe. 'Cause it's 3 days, right? Gods.
Hmm?
Today's one day of travel, then Sundog's another day of travel, and then on Mundog. So we'd be
Fucking
getting
fine, fucking fine. We'll be getting
Mundog
back on
evening.
Mundog. Fine, fine.
plenty of time for fight tonight on Venstock. Okay, let's go.
And the three of you go outside where you see Septimus and Bruce have gotten the cart ready to go.
Oh, hey, Septimus. Hi, Bruce. How are you both doing today? I would love to know about your dreams you had.
They look very tired and they just shake their head no.
Oh, foiled again.
And you see Bruce whispers that he has I think I lost my voice.
Clearly, you don't sound quite as robust as usual.
Yes, I think I lost my voice.
Oh, that's better. That's much better.
But Sal waves at you from the back of the cart.
I don't really care about you.
I wave back.
Makes a sad face, even though he can't.
Even though he can't.
So, Sean,
Yes.
during our first day of travel, when we're heading out of here,
Yep.
I want to keep an eye open for when we settle for the night. I want to make sure that there's, if possible, a place of high elevation where we can nearby where I can walk off to and, perhaps try and commune with whatever's in this thing.
Okay. Steph?
Real quick, I forgot to do this. When we were at the coyote and badger, I think Jaquet would have kind of spun a quick yarn about our escapades in Billowgrass to Yarick. Just kind of be like, hey, if you hear about some heroes, that was us. We helped out over in Billowgrass. We don't have to roleplay this. Okay, bye.
And Yarick would actually probably have a pretty positive response to this. You can tell Jaquet, since you didn't really talk to him in the first time, this is kind of the only time you've ever spoken to him.
Right.
He eagerly eats up any stories that come through this tavern. Like that's his.
Oh.
You almost learn that like that's actually kind of why he started a tavern. Is he just likes to hear stories of travelers from around the area. So he very eagerly eats up that story. And you can tell he's probably going to tell everyone who comes through until there's a more interesting story.
Oh, sorry. He might have even heard Reardon's side of the story. Who
That's
probably
true.
got there before us.
Yeah. I have a feeling Reardon kept to himself. And
fair.
I have a feeling, I mean, I'm God and I know what happened. Cool. So yeah, so you start to travel on your first day of this. Septimus is, I'm assuming, probably driving the cart again. The three of you, where you all? You're just hanging out in the back. Sass, are you up front again?
Yep, with Septimus. Yep,
Cool.
Just hanging like we did on the way up.
That fly is still chasing you,
Yep.
even on the cart.
So annoying.
Cart is not going fast enough for the fly to lose pace. Bruce and Fyrn, I assume you're just kind of chilling in the back again.
Yep.
Okay. Is anyone kind of keeping an eye out throughout the day, or just leisure?
Would you call me?
I called you Bruce on accident.
Yeah. It's okay.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what? Bruce is in the back. Jaquet, where are you?
He's in the back, same corner, propped up against his bag, reading.
Okay.
Fyrn would be keeping an eye out, but he's watching behind the cart, not in front.
Cool. Sass,
Yeah,
will you be keeping an eye out in front? All right. Can you two give me perception checks for your day's travel?
Sure.
15.
15. Okay.
Mhm.
And Fyrn.
Oh, it was on the 15, but it tipped over. We're at a 7 now.
Okay. Okay. So, Fyrn, you don't notice too much throughout the day. It's almost as if, you even find your eyes dozing a few times as you're just kind of watching the same boring fields over and over again. It's not really like this part of the region is very flat. Like even if you're keeping an eye out for elevation, you notice that if you're really looking for any kind of elevation, you've really got to go quite off-road. Not like multiple days journey or anything, but definitely going to add time to your travel if you're trying to get to sort of the more hilly, higher elevations. You actually all know that you're approaching the region where Septimus's farm is. And you do know that there is the higher up hilly forest on his territory, which would probably be the closest elevation that you can get to by the end of this day. Because you'll probably want to sleep at Septimus's again at the end of this day.
Okay.
So there would be, you do know there is elevation on his land that's a little bit higher up.
Sounds good. If I even have to wait till the second day, if that makes it more convenient, I will.
Sure. Sass with a 15. One, you notice that there is a storm brewing in the eastern horizon, so the direction you're heading in. But it's around, I'll say, midday when the sun is highest in the sky and you're starting to get a little warm. It's a pretty hot day, even for the autumn season that it is. You are kind of at that mode of travel where you're starting to fall asleep a little bit as you're kind of leaning on top of Sal's head. But it's at that point that you hear the sounds of people not too far off who are shouting. Probably maybe 250 feet ahead to the left within the fields. And it's as you start to hear this, I imagine you maybe stand up and look a little harder. And you can see there is something in the field that is large. And you can see it's a bit reptilian. And it seems to be thrashing about in the fields. As you're looking across, you hear some shouting from what sounds like people.
There's something in the fields over there. Do you feel like fighting?
Always.
Why do you assume we'd be fighting it? Maybe it's a new friend.
It's pretty big.
Jaquet lifts the canvas to look out. Oh yeah. Huh. What do you say, Bruce? No, I'll stop. I mean,
Well, Bruce immediately goes, nah.
I mean, let's keep the title of heroes going. Let's see what's going on. Maybe we can lend a paw.
So,
because I don't have hands, I have paws.
now that you've all she's pointed it out, you can see, I can actually ask if everyone wants to do another perception check, they can, to get more information from this. It's a little far away right now, so it looks, it's still, you can tell it's a big creature, but to get kind of an idea of what it is, its features are.
12.
12. It gets
Yeah.
blurrier for you.
Damn it.
I got one more. I'm at 8.
15.
15. Okay. So Jaquet, the only thing that you really glean from this that Sass didn't already glean, is you can tell this thing has wings,
Ew.
and it's a little shiny.
Got wings. Kind of shiny.
This is a dragon.
A dragon? Oh, I hope so. That would be fantastic. Think of the ballad I could write with it. Come on. And at this, Jaquet's getting his equipment on and goes, Septimus, Bruce, you should probably just stay in the fart.
Uh,
Can I take that again?
Yep.
Bruce,
everyone
Septimus, you should
take a deep
probably
breath.
just take in the... I'll get it
All
next
right.
time.
Ready? Action.
Bruce, Septimus, bye. As he jumps.
Do you two follow?
Yeah.
Fyrn, Fyrn follows, but he looks towards Septimus when he does it, and just for a split second has second thoughts about going immediately into this danger, but then is just whatever.
And Bruce and Septimus basically say that they're going to ride ahead a little bit to see if there's anyone who needs help further up the road. Because that's my excuse for them not joining. Because, I don't know, they see a farmhouse and they think maybe there's other people there. Anyway, so this is in a pretty robust field of tall crops. So you are going to need to kind of move through that to get to where you can see this scaly enemy is.
Fucking grass.
Realistically, it's more like a corn harvest that's not been harvested yet. So it's kind of half the field's been harvested. But the half you're on has not been harvested. But it's loud enough now that you can definitely you don't need to do any checks to get to it. But you hear it basically as soon as you get off the cart and kind of hop the wooden fence into the field, you would hear that sort of roar come from the creature, and you hear this distant growling reptilian roar that kind of echoes towards where you are. And it sounds quite big once you hear that. And it's only about a couple hundred feet, so you can approach. Do you want to do any kind of stealthing or anything like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No.
100% has his weapons drawn and is going to try to meld into the corn.
I summon my sword with a splash of seawater and also meld into the corn.
Okay.
Fyrn is hearing this monster and having some tribulations, but continues forward thinking that the corn is probably it's like he can't get through this corn being quiet. He knows he can't. So he's just going through, but he's not going terribly fast either. Like he doesn't want to sprint towards this thing, but he wants to stay with his group. So he's kind of just like going at a normal pace with his weapon drawn, like looking out every once in a while, like poking his head out to see if this thing is aware of their existence.
Oh yeah. So give me those stealth checks and fear, and you can give me a perception check.
Fuck
Sure.
yeah. 24.
Okay.
28.
All right. So
5.
yeah, fear, and you're like walking with them,
5.
and you look up, and you're trying to look to see more details, and you turn to say something to them, and they're both gone.
Oh shit.
Okay, so as you all approach, you can hear that there seems to be some people there. Maybe until you get up there, you're not quite sure, but maybe three humans. They sound like, and you can hear like one person like screaming out of panic. Another person seems to be screaming at the creature. And then as you get close, that's when you hear like the squealing of well, not squealing, but the panicked cries of a horse as well. So you might easily be able to presume from this creature's attacking these farmers' horse. And you hear suddenly as the wings billow, and you can see this creature now comes up, but the horse is too heavy, and it comes back down onto the ground, and its claws dig deeper into the horse. You hear this scream as it then seems to bite into the horse. You hear the scream stop. The horse is dead. It's about 50 feet from you now. You very clearly now saw that this is a copper wyvern.
Wow, who would have guessed?
I knew one day I'd get you to actually fight it, except it's the only time I didn't set up a battle map for me to use my mini. For it. But this copper wyvern is large and clearly dangerous. It looks like you could see there was a few. It had a few arrows in it, so the farmers seem to have been trying to attack it to scare it off, but they didn't seem to have much success. So let's roll initiative. Sass and Jaquet are going to get a surprise round on the creature.
Hell yeah.
All right, 20 to 25. You love to see it. 15 to 19.
16.
I got a 14. It's almost there.
Okay. Sass, what'd you get?
12.
All right, so Jaquet, you get a stealth round on this monster. So it's landed. You can see you felt the kind of like corn all shift as it landed and flattened this whole area of corn, and is currently just sort of now like feasting on this horse, trying to get a quick meal in before getting out of here. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna move up to within 30 feet of it, and then fire my crossbow.
Go for it.
I have advantage because I'm hidden.
Yes, you do.
Okay. All right, that's 26 to hit.
Absolutely hits. Go for it.
Not great. But 2d6 now for. Okay, that's 11 piercing damage.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, pew pew. Those crossbow bolts fire out, and you see it hits into the creature's neck. You can see it immediately lifts its head and it is now like searching for whatever threat is because it's like, oh, whoa, like it's taken these like shoddy little arrows from the farmers that barely did
Yeah.
any damage, and now it takes a real bolt to the neck, and it's now kind of on. You can see it's on high alert as its wings turn to arms as it starts to move through the corn, the tail whipping a bunch of corn down. As you can see, some of this copper and green flames billowing out of the sides of its very jagged crocodilian fangs.
All right, and then gonna give some bardic inspiration and just go. All right, Saskia, your turn. Fuck them up. And then I'm gonna just move whatever distance I can away from it.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Is that a D6?
D6. Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, Sass. You're up.
All right. I'm going to use my action. I'm already holding my sword, but I'm with my left hand. So I'm going to fling out my right hand, and I'm not going to Eldritch Blast. I'm
Ooh.
going to cast Mind Sliver on it.
Oh.
I need a intelligence saving throw 15.
Ah. Let's see what it gets. It rolled 16, but it's got a -3 to its
Hell
intelligence,
yeah!
so it fails.
All right, so that's gonna be nice. 9 points of psychic damage.
Mhm.
And it's going to subtract 1d4 from the next saving throw it makes
Love
before the end
that.
of my next turn.
Okay.
And I'm going to then use my bonus action to, after I Mind Sliver and some pointy seashells go and just right into its head. I'm going to kind of like swirl my hand around and then move it up like this, and I'm going to make my tentacle appear as my bonus action on its back.
Nice. And does it get an attack when you summon it?
It sure does.
Go for it.
Let me grab that tentacle. Here we go. Oh, 13.
Nope.
You can add.
Wait, do I? Yeah, yes. I'm adding a d6 to that. Thank you.
Okay. 13
plus 6. How about a 19?
That will do it.
Excellent. Thanks, Jaquet. So that's gonna be 6 points of cold damage.
Okay.
And its speed is.
Yes, but by
Yes.
Was it 10?
That's right.
Or is it 5?
It is for cold.
I know 10 for
my
chill
spell.
touch. It's 10.
Yeah, Ray of Frost.
Should
Where is
be-
it? Yes, 10 feet. Mhm.
Cool.
So 1d4 subtract from the next saving throw and reduce by 10 feet speed.
Excellent. I love it. So as this creature is starting to kind of like rear its head around looking for whatever is attacking it, you see the bolt comes out, and then suddenly you see this swarm of mollusks and seashells around its head, and you see it shaking its head as it looks confused by this, and you can see some of that copper and green fire kind of like just like sort of bursts out with each kind of like small irritated roar coming from it, as then a tentacle just slaps it across the back, and you can see like frost starts to form where it struck it, and you can see every time it hits it, like you see these like this almost, it looks like glitter truthfully going off into the air, as you can see these very small copper scales coming off of it as it struck. As you can generally see as it's moving, every like major movement makes it like this glittery substance falls off of it. All right, excellent. That was our surprise round. We are now back to the top of initiative for our real first round with Jaquet.
All right.
Fyrn, you're on deck.
Yep.
Jaquet is going to move around to the side of it, so that he's opposite where he thinks Fyrn is coming from.
Sure.
And then he is going to say, "All right, you big fucker, let's see how you deal with this." As
Good.
he uses unsettling words.
Okay.
And then he is going to cast Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level. So it needs to make a Wisdom save DC 14, minus a D4 and a D6.
Okay. What kind of save was it again?
Wisdom, DC 14.
Okay. And then you said minus. What is the word minus?
So it's a D4 from Sas's, then a
Yep.
D6.
And it's D6.
from-
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So it rolled a -2.
Huzzah.
So go ahead and roll damage,
Oh my
and then it has to
God.
move away from you, right?
Yeah, reaction for full movement away from me.
Okay.
So that's only 6 psychic damage because I rolled 3 1s and a 3.
Ooh. Okay.
Oof.
So again, this creature is just immediately like overwhelmed with psychic assault upon its mind. It's a very simple creature, so it's just sort of like shaking its head, just confused about the effects going on. It's almost like becoming delusional in a way, as it's like looking around and it's like probably seeing a far more dangerous situation than it actually is in, and it does move away at a distance allowed by its movement.
Probably thinks it's a frog or a rabbit or something.
It's having a nightmare where it's being turned into a fucking frog. So it says this move as far as its speed allows. So that means it's going to not. It would have to use its whichever movement is more. So it's going to fly, because that
-10.
is faster than its walking speed. So you see it immediately like
fucking time.
it tries to fly with the horse away because it does not want to give up this juicy meal. But it drops the horse because of course it does. It's not in its right state of mind with all these psychic assaults. So this horse drops to the ground and it flies up, probably at an angle away.
So
70
no
feet.
attacks of opportunity.
No, you're not even up on it yet. And it's now 120 feet away from you. Because it was already 50 feet away from where you guys started.
Good.
Or where you guys last were together before we rolled initiative. So it is still up in the air, though. It's not like you can tell that this is getting you out of direct danger for now, but this creature is probably not going to leave without something to eat. But it is you're out of its range right now, as it is flying kind of up, and it's almost like you see it like fly up, and then you almost see it does start to turn to come back. Anything else, Jaquet?
No, that'll end my turn. I think Jaquet will move closer to get closer to Sass and Fyrn. And are the farmers still around?
So yes, they are. They're probably about like 20 feet on the other side of where the creature started. So they're still in. Their initiative is a little later.
Okay.
They didn't quite roll quite as well as you heroes.
Well, and on that note, as Jaquet moves up, he's going to shout to them, "Don't worry, my friends, the heroes are here."
Okay. So you said you moved up to be closer with Fyrn and Sass?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So I would say you're like probably a little bit ahead of them from where they are. Sass, did you move on your last turn? I don't think you did. Okay. So yeah, so Sass and Fyrn are generally in the same direction, or in the same area. So yeah, so Jaquet, you're probably like 10 or 15 feet ahead of them. All right, Fyrn, you are up. The creature has flown up into the air and looks like it's going to turn for a dive on its next turn.
I suppose I will try and get in front of everyone with my movement and ready an attack for when it does dive. To either I guess I can't really choose multiple things, but basically strike when it gets close enough for me to hit it and just stay as a vanguard.
Yeah, absolutely. You can rush up your 30 feet of movement. Is that what you have?
I do have 30 feet, yeah.
Okay, so you rush up 30 feet, so you're about 15 feet ahead of Jaquet now. 30 feet behind you is Sass, and you bring out your weapon, waiting for the creature to come within range for your attack. Anything else, Fyrn?
I think that's all I want to do. I just say, come get some, you big lizard.
All right, Sass, you are up, and then it is the farmers, and then it's the wyvern.
Question.
Yes.
My tentacle is only up to 60 feet, so when it left my range, did it disappear?
So yes, it would disappear if it was out of your range.
Okie dokie. And you said it's 120 feet?
Yes.
All right.
I say it's 120 feet away and probably about 40 feet off the ground, or 60 feet off the ground, I'll say.
All right. I'm going to. Yeah, I'll fucking Eldritch Blast it. Pew, pew.
What a warlock thing to say.
I
I guess I'll Eldritch Blast.
I guess. First blast is a 16.
That hits.
That's gonna be. Hell yeah. 12 points of force damage.
Okay, 12 points.
Next one is a 26 to hit.
That'll definitely hit.
And that is 9 points of force damage.
Hell yeah.
I think that is all I can do. Yeah, because he's too far away for another tentacle. I'll use my 30 feet of movement to move up full 30 feet.
All right, so you are up next to Fyrn now with Jaquet 15 feet behind y'all. And you can see the farmers are about 40 feet ahead of you all.
As I'm running past Jaquet, let's go, Slowpoke.
Yeah, she's gone by the time you can get your quip out. And by gone, I mean 15 feet ahead of you. Okay, excellent. All right, it's the farmer's turn now. And you can see the farmers kind of notice you helping, and that kind of like, it doesn't, I wouldn't say it inspires them, but like a little bit of that fear leaves them, and they're not screaming and panicking now. They seem to be getting into better positions. So you can see they are going to aim their weapons. They are going to have disadvantage on their attacks, but I think that they're smart enough to lay in wait and hold their actions until the creature is within range for their short bows. But you do see they kind of like, they see like Fyrn standing tall in the corn, and then they kind of like get down low in the grass to hopefully keep the wyvern coming after you all. Okay, cool. It is the wyvern's turn now. So it is going to take its dive down. It is 120 feet away. So it is going to, and you all, well, now it's actually less than 120 feet because you moved up. So it's what, 90 feet away from these two, and 105 feet away from Mr. Cat.
Should it be 110 or 95 because it was slowed?
I already slowed its speed. Yeah, I already slowed its speed.
It's not slowed anymore now because it was the end of my turn.
All right, then it has its full 80 feet of flying versus 70 that I gave it. And you see it does starts to dive down. If you weren't about to be attacked by this thing, this would be beautiful, because it does kind of like fold its wings back, so it looks like this shimmering copper and green light coming down, being trailed by this glittery mist. As it comes directly down and then opens its wings to swoop towards you, and this copper flame comes from its mouth. And I need let's see if it gets 80 feet down, 10 feet, and then you would be yep, you're all within it. So I need everyone to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, I'm going to be using my reaction to absorb elements, Sean.
Perfect.
15.
Dirty 20.
21.
21, you said?
Aye, Captain.
Okay. 21 succeeds. Shannon, what'd you get again?
15.
15 does not succeed.
Damn it.
And Fyrn, what did you get?
Dirty 20.
That will succeed.
Yeah.
Okay, let me roll this dice. Oh, these are too many dice for me to roll physically.
Oh, don't say that.
We all die.
It's dragon breath. We know it's gonna hurt.
We know this is gonna suck.
We know this.
And roll. Ooh.
Don't say that.
It's a lot.
Cool.
So Shannon, you did not succeed, right? Okay. So it is going to be 55 fire damage.
I'm out. Fuck. I'm down. Just lays me out.
So that would be
27 halved.
27 fire damage to the other two. And it ignites the field on fire. As you all would see, this green and orangish flames now start to burn up all around you in a 30-foot cone, eating away at the fire around. As you can see, the wyvern lands immediately.
Can I add a little flavor to
Yeah.
my
Totally.
unconsciousness? So as I ran by Jaquet being like, let's go slowpoke, and I'm turning, laughing, and then turning back around, just get a face full of fire. I'm down.
yeah. Actually, that's really good because even for you, Jaquet, for a second, it's oh, we're fighting monsters again. This is when we can be fun. We're not killing people anymore.
Yeah.
And it's almost here we go, and then just a
A gout of fire.
yeah, consumes this
whiskers
whole
are-
place. As this creature lands and immediately just bellows out this loud roar as it lands just right on top of where the horse's body is, which is now charring and on fire. As
He's
it's
cooking
basically he's basically looking right at Fyrn, Fyrn now, who is 10 feet away from it, and it's just as Fyrn, you have absorbed elements. You are kind of what does that look like for these copper flames?
So I saw the flames coming, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" So I throw my sword onto the ground. I stab it into the ground, and I kind of hide behind it, and I cast the magic on the sword. And I'm bigger than the sword, so it burns the sides of me. But
Yeah.
the magic is kind of mitigated by absorbing into my blade. And then I just pull this, flaming blade off to the side and get ready to charge.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You slam that sword into the ground. You can kind of see that the distortion of heat waves is at first all around Fyrn, but then that kind of turns into waves feeding into the sword as everything kind of catches on fire around him, and then he pulls out this sword that is now covered in this almost turquoise teal green flame. As the dragon,
my black cloak is on fire as I'm
yeah, as this
It's
creature
fluttering behind you.
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
It's so cool.
As this
And
wyvern
Jaquet,
screams.
even though he's in pain, he's just oh, this will be so good in the song.
As this huge wyvern has, it has this long, crocodilian snout with this cobra hood coming off of the head that's flared out now, as it is screeching at Fyrn. You can see this tail whips around. You can see the sharp stinger at the end of it, as its wings it's just circling. But it is on the ground now. Okay. Jaquet, you're up.
So I assume the area we're in is burning, and if I stay here, I will be
Correct.
Yes. All right. Jaquet is going to. Sass is 15 feet in front of me, so he's
Correct.
gonna run up, grab her, pull her out of the fire,
Yep.
and then pop the cap on one of his potions, or his only potion of healing, stick it in her mouth, and go, "Not yet, Sea Witch. I'm gonna need you without the other two."
Okay, go ahead and roll that 2d4. What's your movement speed again, Jaquet?
30, but I can up it if need be.
You will need to up it since you're dragging her out.
Okay. Ooh. 7 plus 2, 9.
Nice.
Fuck.
Yeah, and Sass, like you are you're feeling the pain immediately when you come back because you have these as Jaquet, you can see like her like severe burns like healing slowly across her body, and it's like that alone, even like the healing process of the burns in your body is painful in and of itself.
Ow!
Yeah, you're not Scarlet anymore. The fire's not.
No, I know.
Looking down at her, he's kind of like, "Don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll be fine." As like his shoulder is still like smoldering a little, and then he turns over his shoulder and looks at Fyrn, looks at the wyvern, and goes, "All right, Wide Eye, it's up to you. I don't know how much help we're gonna be." Lop its head off, and he's going to use the help action as a bonus action as a whatever my subclass is. Yep, as a mastermind, master of tactics. So you have advantage on your next attack, Fyrn.
Cool.
All right, Fyrn, you are up.
Okay, here I go. I swing the big sword. I am aiming specifically for a wing, Sean, whichever one's closer.
So it's 10 feet away from you, so either wing would be close enough. 1 second.
All right.
We don't have a battle map, but I can still hold up the little figures.
Yeah, there you go. The unpainted Fyrn.
The unpainted Fyrn versus the painted wyvern that I've had for
That wyvern
years.
is so beautiful. It's finally seeing
So
combat.
for all of you in chat, this is what Fyrn is facing down. Okay, Fyrn, go for your attack.
Sean, is it a lefty or a righty? Could I tell?
Give me an insight check just for fun, because...
All right. When it took off, which foot did it step forward with? It was an 11.
No, you can't tell if it's a righty or lefty.
I'm going for the right one.
Okay, go for it.
70% of wyverns are right-handed or right-winged.
So I'm going to say if you get a 19 or a 20 on the dice, you will cut its wing off.
Nice.
Where did I learn that from?
I didn't say anything.
I'll take a 16. Will be 24 to hit.
Okay, that'll definitely hit.
All right. For 12 slashing damage and let's see here, where is it? 5 fire damage.
Okay.
How did that look?
It's still up. It is definitely bloodied. And the fire damage is not. It's not resistant to the fire damage. It takes full damage. These wyverns aren't
Sweet.
full-blooded dragons.
Attacking again.
Go for it.
I don't have advantage on the second attack, right?
No, you do not.
Does a 10 hit?
No, 10 does not hit.
Okay, we're gonna action surge.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Give it to me again. Does an 11 hit?
It misses.
One more time.
Come on,
Go
Fyrn.
for it.
Okay, 25 to
There you
hit.
go.
25? Yeah, that'll
Yep.
hit.
For another 9 damage.
9 damage. Excellent. As the creature billows back. 9 damage. Okay, so that is that. So yeah, you come in hot with this first strike with the strategic support of Jaquet. You bring the blade down and it strikes into the wing. You can see it does sink into its shoulder essentially, and you can see all the muscle tensing up and twitching as the blade pierces through it. And then you rip the blade out, and you can see this hot acidic blood pours out, and you can see it smoking on the blade as you then bring the sword back in for another attack, but it bites down on the sword, blocking it. And now that third hit that misses is you wrestling your sword out of its mouth before bringing it around for another strike across the chest.
Nice.
Okay, but it is still up, but it
still-
is looking rough.
Do I still have a bonus action, Sean?
You action surged and attacked 4 times. Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to second wind and heal for a bit.
Nice. Okay, Sass, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to bonus action create another tentacle on this fucker.
Nice.
So that's gonna be. Aww.
Did it
It's
miss?
there, but yeah, it really missed because
What'd
it
it
was
roll?
a 1.
Okay, so you see this, like, almost like you see some of that acidic blood come out of its shoulder, freezes, and out of it breaks and shatters into this large spectral tentacle that is just flailing around on its shoulder and trying to hit it, but is unfortunately is not able to.
Damn.
else?
Yeah, Eldritch Blast.
Be excited about it.
16.
That'll hit.
Yay! 6 points of force damage for the first blast.
Okay.
Aww. And 11 for the second.
That's
That
gonna
doesn't
miss.
hit. God damn it. I'm like, my shoulder hurts because it's burning, and I get one, and then
Did you stand up, or are you still on the ground?
Oh, fuck. No, I didn't stand up. I sat up and
Yeah.
just like, fuck.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, exactly. Like Jaquet's like standing over you and like kind of like helped you sit up, and then you just immediately just were like I imagine you're like super
Tentacle first.
dead, and you're just like ugh, you just throw
Yeah.
out the tentacle and see it miss, and then you get angrily shoot out your Eldritch Blast hits, and then you kind of like use that fuel to fire another one off.
yeah.
But that one just goes wide because your shoulder's
just-
too painful.
It fucking hurts.
And you just see that
Oh, it
Eldritch
fucking
Blast
hurts.
goes on forever into the distance.
It fucking hurts. Fucking hurts. Thank you, Jaquet.
Somewhere
Help me up.
over Alicia, there's a bird.
yeah, that's what people don't talk about with Eldritch Blast. It just goes forever if you miss.
And I'll use the half my movement to like use Jaquet to stand up and just kind of like lean on him and just be like, fucking hurts.
I know, you said that already.
Stay out of the front line.
Fuck you.
He's right, though.
So you see, it's the farmer's turn now, and due to the massive amount of flames that are on their farm now, you see they have abandoned their attacks. I mean, they actually are going to get their attacks in from that they were holding. So let me do those real quick.
Nat 20.
No, I rolled.
Double
Well, it's just 3, but the first 2 were nat 1s, and they rolled the way they fell and rolled. They rolled 2 at first, and then 1 third. They landed, and they perfectly both at the same time fell into nat 1s. But the third one hit.
Oh, okay.
So they symmetrically failed.
Yes, exactly. They symmetrically failed. Oh, and they perfect. They got max damage for a nice.
It dies. They
Nice
win.
8. Basically, it's as Fyrn is in this fight with it, and there's this Eldritch Blast that skitters off its shoulder. There's just these pew, pew, 2 arrows just pew, pew, just snap immediately against its scales, and then one just hits perfectly right in its back, and the creature does actually let out a large bellow at this, as it is bleeding this acidic blood all over the place now with a writhing tentacle on its back. And it is the Wyvern's turn now. We'll roll to see if it gets its fire back.
No.
It does, that's it.
please
Game over,
no.
man. I did drag Sass like away, so we shouldn't be
Yes.
behind Fear.
No,
I might be able to
absolutely.
take another hit.
It's fine though, because it rolled a natural 1 or a 1 on the d6, so it does not get its fire back.
Phew.
So instead, it's just gonna.
So it's just gonna
hit me
rip into
100
Fyrn. All right, Fyrn. Let's go for its first attack on you. All right, Fyrn, does a 17 hit?
It doesn't if I cast shield, which I am.
Okay, go ahead and cast shield. As it comes in for a bite, I imagine it's like the shield comes up almost with, it starts off within its mouth as it's forming and keeps its mouth from clamping down at you, and then buffets it back as it forms around you. And it's going to go for its second attack on you. Oop, that fell off. Roll it in the tray, Sean. That's what the tray is for.
Mm-hmm.
It misses wildly with a nat 1 as it comes in and it goes for this bite, and the shield buffets it back with this burst of icy light as then its tail comes whipping around, the stinger coming right for you. And I'll say in that moment, you can instinctually kind of react to this and just as you just bat the tail away with your sword. As the creature then just sort of screams in your face, looks to your left or to your right where there's this horse corpse, looks at you, and you see it's going to attempt to flee. As you see it kind of lifts itself up off the ground and attempts to grab the horse's body again. So go ahead and give me an attack of opportunity.
I don't get a reaction because I used it to shield.
You're right, so you're not going to get to do that. So it is going to use its movement speed to get over to the horse's body, and it grabs onto
my
it.
reaction, please.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It
They have
does.
to be-
I don't understand how.
So it works like any other opportunity attack works, which is if you're within
it's in range.
is within range of it. So otherwise, anytime my creature would move, you'd be able to use a spell. So it's only it's instead of a melee attack, you can opt to use a spell instead.
Okay.
Yeah. So it grabs onto this horse and attempts to lift it up. And you can see it's still kind of struggling to do that, so it's only going to get half its movement speed, as it is going to then kind of basically just lift itself up in the air. And it's just 40 feet up, but it's still here for this next round. Which brings us back to Jaquet.
All right. Can I get within 30 feet of it, or it is 40 feet off the ground?
So it is 40 feet off the ground.
If I run
Mhm.
and jump off Fyrn, could I get Fyrn? Could I get 30 feet up?
I would ask you to roll me an acrobatics check to see if you're. It is basically to see if you get a normal attack off or a disadvantaged attack as you jump into the air.
Okay, that's fair.
With the DC is 15.
For the okay, no going back now. Could have just steady aimed and gotten a normal roll, but I
Oh yeah.
That's an 11.
Okay, so when you leap up into the air, you will have a disadvantage on the attack, but you are going to get an attack off.
Yeah, no, all right. And my he's not within 30 feet, so I can't give the help action. All right, Jaquet like jumps up and shoots, and it's like a sad. It's just kind of pathetic looking how it all happens. Fyrn clearly was not interested in this happening.
Yeah.
Like Jaquet like clambers up, and Fyrn's like, "Get off me!" And so like he like kind of slips, and like he's reaching out, and he's like, "I've got this," and he fires, and it's just like it hits the horse, and then his face just goes, "Oh," and then he kind of just falls down onto his 3 feet and goes, "I don't even want to take a bonus action."
Absolutely. So this like even as you do it though, you realize like maybe somewhere in your head, both of your heads, Fyrn and Jaquet, like, oh, maybe if we practice that, it might be a new thing that we can do in future encounters. That when Fyrn knows that's going to happen. and maybe could be a really cool combo for the future. But yes, the arrow sinks into the dead horse, and nothing happens, except some blood splurts out. All right, Fyrn, you are up.
Okay, how far away is this thing?
It is well, it's about 10 feet and then 40 feet up. So 10 feet away, 40 feet up.
I don't think there's any way for me to get up there. But I can chase it down the 10 feet.
Okay.
And then shoot a ray of frost at it.
There you go. Go for it.
That's the best thing I've got. And can I cast it at a higher level? I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, I don't think that works. Yeah, it's
Jaquet, at the end of your turn, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Does a 17 hit, Sean?
17 does hit.
Okay, he's going to take...
Nat
Ooh,
20.
good rolls.
That's
I
why,
got a
okay, you don't take any fire damage from being in the fire field.
12
Oh,
cold
that's what-
damage.
Oh.
Sorry, say that again.
I do the exact same thing that, what do you call it? Gloveless does, except he's just on the floor, so I just step on his back as I'm running and shooting the ray of frost at the enemy.
And he doesn't even need the extra range from the jump. What was the damage?
12, which is pretty
Ooh,
good.
Oh, nice. That's very good for that. Okay. All right.
And I'll use the rest of my movement to keep running in the direction that it's going. I know it's too high, but I want to still get in front
keep
of
with
it.
it.
So,
Keep with it.
yeah, I'm basically making a gap between me and the others in case it circles around back again.
Sure. Okay. All right. Fyrn, give me a con saving throw.
Oh boy, okay.
And then Saskia.
I'm good at these, though. I got a nat 1.
Okay. You take 5 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Sass. Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. No, you know what? I'm gonna do a Mind Sliver again. How far away is it?
So it will move 10 feet away from Fyrn. You would have dragged her out of that, which means you would have been 20 feet away. So it's 30 feet away and then 40 feet up in the air.
That's fine. My range is 60 feet.
Okay.
So...
It's got minus 10 from my cold move.
Yes.
So I need an intelligence saving throw, please.
It rolled a 16.
Total?
Total, yeah. It rolled a 19.
Damn it. All right. Well, then I'm gonna bitch slap it with my tentacle as my bonus action.
Go for it.
There we go. 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
Excellent. And that 5 points of cold damage.
Okay, but that's another 10 feet off of its movement speed.
Correct.
Okay, so this thing definitely looks rough and haggard at this point. As it is its turn, you can hear the farmers are calling out to Septimus and Bruce to get some buckets of water and to put out some fires. So that's what they're doing during all of this. Let's see if it gets its fire back.
Give it the fire, Sean. I hope it rolled high. I want it to come back so I can kill it.
Yeah, it did. Got a 5.
No. Well.
So
Now I'm scared.
Fyrn and Jaquet. Dex saving throws. Sass is 20 feet away from you two.
Did I miss the Jaquet
Wait,
move?
did you? Jaquet
I didn't
left
move.
you. Jaquet left you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he
Wait.
moved forward.
Okay.
So Sean, what last time
Actually, no, you're 10 feet ahead. Last time you what?
Last time I took damage, I halved it because I succeeded on the saving throw, but I didn't have it from
Oh, you should have had
the
it again
resistance.
from the absorb elements. Yeah,
right.
so add that health back.
Instead of 27, it should be 13 damage.
Correct.
So I'm gonna give myself 13 health.
Yeah, 14 health.
14, sure.
Okay, so it's going to choose to Jaquet.
So sorry, I just want to ensure that we minimize as much damage as possible. So Wyvern's 40 feet up.
Yes.
Jaquet jumped up
Mhm.
and then fell, and then Fyrn
Moved forward,
tried
so
to
this will not.
move-
Yes, so it's not going to get Sass. Because
So if it's doing like a cone, unless it
Yes.
it has to doesn't matter. I don't
Re-
know.
How,
I
how
just
wide
assumed
is
that it's
the
like
cone? How
it's
long is the
directly
cone?
above. Yeah.
yeah, it is.
So it would have to be a 30-foot cone, which it probably
It has
is.
movement speed. It's not. You took 20 points off of its 80 movement speed.
How long is the cone, Sean?
It is a 30-foot cone.
So that means he has to be right next to me in order to hit me and him because I use my 30 movement speed.
That's true. Yes, you're correct. You're correct because you did move further ahead. You're right. Thank you. I did forget that you moved another 20 feet
Okay,
up.
that's what I was trying to say. But he said it better.
I didn't. He had already been ahead of you, Jaquet, originally. So that's
Right.
what I thought you meant at first. Okay. Yes. So it is going to be right on you, Fyrn, but it is still going to get the two of you.
Can I use a free action, 5-foot step, so it doesn't?
I want to use my reaction to.
Now we're metagaming. Sorry.
I can protect. It's not going to do much, but I can protect with my tentacle now. And
Oh, that's
reduce-
right. That's right.
I
Yes.
can reduce damage.
Yes.
I'm going to do it in front of Jaquet because he so kindly
Mhm.
brought me back from the break of death.
Yes. So thinking about this, the way that Fyrn would have moved, because Jaquet, you basically, I imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, in the way this would have looked in it, is that you basically landed in front of Fyrn.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
and then
it
he
was,
moved
it was
his-
to get up to
Yes.
like close the distance,
Mhm.
and then he just fell down.
Yes. Okay. So then it would have to be right in front of Fyrn to get you in the cone, because Fyrn would be 25 feet ahead of you, because he would have moved his 30, and that would have been bypassed you. Okay. This is why I like battle maps.
Me too.
Anyway, so okay, then dexterity saving throws from you two. Sass, who are you protecting?
Jaquet, but it says
They have to be within a certain range of the tentacle.
within 10 feet of the tentacle.
So you
and
can only protect Fyrn with it because Jaquet is
all right.
25 feet away.
All right, so then I'll do that then. Yep. So
I'll
I'm
take
gonna
it.
reduce the damage by 1d8.
Okay, go ahead and
Ooh, -7 from whatever it is, Feared.
Okay. I got a very bad saving throw. I got a 6.
6.
I got an 11.
Guys,
Oh.
I only have one healing potion. I just remembered.
Well, you can stabilize us as it
True.
flies.
You can
true.
also
That's true.
stabilize them. You don't have to use the healing
That's true.
potion. Okay, it dealt the exact same amount of damage. So that is 55 fire damage.
All right, divided by
Jaquet is
2 because
dead.
I'm using. Okay.
Like, you more than you. If we're playing
I know.
rules as
I
written,
realized what that.
you
that is.
have utterly incinerated Jaquet.
Oh no. Divine intervention? With my patron? Please?
I'm actually gonna double check if that is actually. I think it is.
I'm pretty sure it is.
5e death.
Yeah, my little encounter here.
Your wyvern is coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Yeah, when damage reduces to 0 hit points and there is damage remaining, you die if the remaining damage equals or exceeds your hit point max.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the DM. You can home rule that is no longer the rule.
I know. Because I do not want this little side encounter to kill you.
Your hit point max is 55? Or
No,
under 55?
my hit point max is 33. So, and I had 6 health remaining, so 6 plus 33 is 39, which is definitely less than 55.
Yeah.
Which would then actually be 49.
Wait, what is the actual
Sean's
rule?
fault, though.
So you did 55 points of damage, right?
Yes. So it's whatever health it's the remaining amount of health after you lose health is over your max, it kills you. Is that what it is?
Yes. So 6 off of 55, because that's how much hit points I had left, would be 49. And 49 exceeds my max
Yeah,
hit points.
because you have 33. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see what happens after we finish another round of combat. As I will be able to go to a break and think about what I want to do.
That's fair. That's fair.
So Jaquet is unconscious and most likely dead. Fyrn, this thing's right in front of you, and Jaquet just went down hard.
There's no more mustache.
Mm.
The whiskers, gone.
Gone.
Could I don't even know. I'm gonna... You know what, Sean? Let's try this. I'm gonna pull the crystal out of my backpack, and I'm just gonna attack the crystal with all my with the flaming weapon that I had, and I'm just gonna try and free whatever's in it with
Okay,
a swing.
go for it. It's good. I get an attack roll on that.
It's a Hail Mary. I just saw my friend die. So I think this is basically what Fyrn's thinking about. And he has half a second to say something before he swings. And he just says, "Whatever you are, if I free you, hopefully you can do something. It can't end like this." And I just stab my sword straight into it and twist.
Okay, Fyrn, because this is your territory of reverence and respect and faith, really, I will give you inspiration for this action.
Cool. In fact, I was probably going to use the
I gave out real
inspiration.
I gave out real inspiration for once.
I already had real inspiration, Sean. Remember the
Just for the
Blue
bad
Eyes White
joke? I
Gavin?
wasn't. I don't know how serious
It
it
counts.
was for that.
This is what it's for.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack on the storm elemental gem.
Sure. I got a 19 plus 8.
Okay.
27.
All right. So this dragon, or this dragon creature, this wyvern, is now perhaps a bit more confident than it was a second ago after it sees what it has done to one of your party members, and you kind of and I'll say Sass, you see that as well. You see Jaquet fall to the ground and does not get back up. And when I say does not get back up, you see completely tossed to the ground, arm over the back, flames on his clothes, his fur singed, and he is as out dead as you've ever seen someone that Fyrn, you say all of these lines. What does it look like when you strike this? Do you drop it to the ground and sink your sword into it?
So, I imagine it's I have the pack on my back, and I kind of just like flip it forward in front of me, and the crystal tumbles out onto the ground, and I pull my sword up like I'm stabbing the sword into the rock, like the sword in the stone, and I say a quick prayer that nobody can hear, but as I use all my strength to stab into this thing with my blade, you just see a huge flash of light. You guys probably didn't even see the crystal hit the ground. You know, you're just like looking up, and there's this huge light that bursts from between me and this creature, and you could see shadows forming on all of the what do you call it, corn husks, as they're making this almost like star effect coming from there. And I don't know what you want to play with that.
I'll take it from there. But you do see this large light crackle out. There's the smell of ozone in the air. It immediately, a wind whips up. And before I conclude what this actually does, the effects of this, we're going to take a quick break. But basically, yeah, like this is where Dragon Ball Z would end the episode. Just this flash of light.
I wish for women's underpants.
All right. We'll be back in 5 or so minutes, folks, to see what happens after Fyrn has attacked this elemental gem containing what was called a greater large storm elemental creature. So, we'll see you all soon. Welcome back, everybody. We are back, and we are going to be concluding Fyrn's actions right before the break. So our heroes decided to do a little fun jaunt into a field to fight off a wyvern, a copper wyvern that was attacking a farm, hunting and chasing and taking one of their horses. The farmers trying to scare it off as best they could, panicking and thinking that they were going to die. And our heroes came rushing in, confident as heroes are, excited even for the fun of the hunt of fighting a monster instead of people, so they could just actually enjoy the glory of it, of saving others. And they engaged, and to be honest, until the last round, we're doing very well. For the most part, they really hurt this thing to the point that it is in a fight or flight mode, and it just so happens that at the end there, it got its fight back with its fire breath ability on a 5 roll, and it breathed that fire out onto Jaquet and Fyrn, which unfortunately has left Jaquet dead. Fyrn, out of desperation, for seeing his dead friend and a monstrous beast in front of him, took out the elemental stone found at the basement of the bandits' hideout, said to contain an incredibly powerful storm elemental. And in a hushed prayer, he begged this elemental to save his friend and all of his friends and himself. And he struck the gem with his sword into the earth. A flash of light happened with the smell of ozone and crackling energy throughout the air as everything goes quiet for a moment. For Fyrn and Sass, you hear the loudest strike of thunder you've ever heard in your life. Fyrn, this thunderclap hits upon you with a lightning surge.
But I'm grounded, Sean.
You are grounded. You are grounded. But it does.
I stabbed the sword into the ground.
It does.
I'm now wearing rubber boots.
I am going to ask. Yeah, you're wearing rubber boots. I am going to ask you to give me a dexterity saving throw as you're holding onto the sword that is dug into the ground now, as this energy is blowing you back.
Oh boy. I got a 7.
Okay, you get flung back. And you're going to take just a little bit of damage. That's what I thought when I rolled that fire damage. You're going to take 11 bludgeoning damage as you get blasted back. And you actually basically land back where Sass is. So the two of you, Sass, you might even run up. Immediately, all of the fire goes out as there is this whirl of wind all about you. As immediately, in a flash, a storm appears above everything. Raging, striking lightning as you look forward and see lightning eating apart the wyvern. As it is completely electrified, roasted. It is a husk, a blackened husk on the ground. 30 feet in front of it, another husk is there. That is Jaquet, as the wind whips around him. What do you do in this immediate moment?
I dropped my sword and left it behind.
Mm-hmm.
I let go of it, so I'm
still in the ground, and you see the shattered parts of the gem around it.
I've got my claws dug into the ground as I'm slowly trying to force my way on all fours towards Jaquet's body, and just screaming into the storm, trying to force myself up and towards him.
Yeah, and as I hear him, see him trying to go, I will also kind of like try. I'm not as strong as him, but I will try and like help him along, and we're both kind of limping against the storm over to Jaquet.
The storm is whirling around. You can see, like I said, all the fire goes out. Rain starts pouring down on you all. The ground beneath you, scorched, is now turning into an ashy mud as your boots are being sucked into the ground, as it's almost like it is becoming harder and harder for you to get to Jaquet, who at the very least is not on fire anymore. And you can hear the farmers yelling in the distance as Bruce and Septimus are helping them. Jaquet. How's your ice cream? How's your dead ice cream?
Moose tracks, baby.
Jaquet.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is dark. Like a nice deep sleep. You hear waves. You feel beneath your body and hands the rough, pieced together wood of a raft and the hot sun beating down on your face. Your eyes open and you see a stitched together dress of seaweed and cloth and detritus waving on a pieced together mast as you are on the raft that you, Fyrn and Sass, pieced together to escape that island.
Was it all a fever dream? Am I just back here again? I sit up.
You sit up and you look down. You can see your fur is all scorched.
Oh, I guess not. I'm gonna pull myself up by the mat or the
Mast.
yes, and look around, kind of looking for Fyrn and Sass.
Mm-hmm. You see Fyrn and Sass on the boat as well, but they are sitting kind of like you were on one side, and very much like when you all were on it. They are on the other side, and you can see they're kind of just like seated, holding their knees at the back of the little vessel, and they're just staring blankly forward, completely disassociated, and not even looking at you. They're just staring into the distance.
Yeah, Saskia, what's going on? Where are we?
They
What are you
don't
doing?
respond.
Come on. And he'll pull himself forward and try to like stumble over to where they are.
Yep, and as you stumble over to where they are, you get within maybe a foot of them and maybe even reach out for one of them. As soon as your hand comes close to touching Fyrn's shoulder, they both break apart into ashes as if they were just set on fire, and everything shifts, and the boat is currently surrounded by flames, the mast on fire, the dress still waving in an invisible wind. As these fires erupt all around you, and you can hear in the distance a fiddle playing. You look across the water, and there seems to almost be an opening in the flames where you can see a lush and beautiful green island. The fiddle is coming from there.
What the hell is this? Where have I gone? He looks as the rigging and the oar and everything there.
Yep.
He's gonna try to lower the sail and make a heading towards that island.
Okay. As you do this, it's slow work to do this. Alone, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost feels like the ship is starting to fall apart as it used to do frequently without Sass's repairs. Closer you get to this green island, the fiddling sound growing louder and louder. Then you hear some creaking. And sounds louder and louder. Until you realize it's the sounds of a much larger ship. From behind you. Through the flames, you can see, following you, is a vast, vast galleon. You can see that the ship perhaps has parts of it that are made up of wood, but the overwhelming majority, and perhaps it's ornamental on there, it looks like it's made from bones.
Mm.
Thousands and thousands and thousands, millions even, of bones. Making up a galleon-sized ship. As it's just sort of slowly creaking behind you, creeping, stalking you. Getting closer and closer because you, by no means, can physically escape it.
I think he would start to paddle with his hands and be like, oh, by the hells, what the fuck is this? What's going on?
And it's as you're paddling faster and faster, you start to look up. And every time you look up, you paddle and you look up. And now it just seems like the green island with the fiddling music is getting further and further away. And every time you look behind you, the flames are still licking the back of the ship. And the flames seem to almost be coming from the wake of this vast bone galleon that is now very close.
Yeah, I get it. I did some bad things in life, but come on, you don't need to torture me now. What is this? As he just keeps desperately paddling.
And it's this torturous experience because you do start to make headway. And as you make headway, you can start to feel it's almost like you realize you're not actually making headway. The wake of the ship is pushing you forward. But it is upon you now as you look back and just see this wall of bones of varying species. You certainly see tabaxi's skulls mingled in, but you see human skulls, you see dragonborn skulls, everyone's skulls. And then lightning strikes and thunder claps and rain sheds down as if the sky is falling apart, the blue of it leaking upon the world. And as that lightning crackled, the ship disappeared when the bright white of the lightning went away. And just so did the green, lush island. And now you are just stranded at sea in this storm that is wreathing all around you, ripping the ship apart as you fall into the water. And look up, and through the water see a strike of lightning, and through that lightning you see in the sky the same face that the villagers of Billowgrass saw when they were compelled to seek out the elemental stone. The same face Fyrn saw in the elemental stone, the old man of the sky, Eyeless, the storm elemental. And you close your eyes as water fills your lungs. We'll jump back to our friends. You two get to Jaquet's body as this rain is pouring down. Lightning strikes, and the both of you also see that face in the sky. You get to Jaquet's body.
I put myself in front of Jaquet, still like struggling to stand, almost on my knees, just with my arms out open, showing that I'm unarmed to this creature, kind of in a reverent pose.
And I'll, I take note of the face, but then I look back down at Jaquet and just kind of like on my knees in the mud, dripping wet, just no, 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 no. And then, oh, sorry.
No, you could go.
And then I'll take off my amulet and just look at it and just say, "Fix this, fix this, fix this, fix this."
You just see the water running off from the rain, off the amulet, dripping onto Jaquet, soaked now.
You're fucking useless. What do we do? What do we do, Fyrn? What do we do?
Fyrn's silent as he has his hands outstretched, staring up at this thing that's in front of him, meeting its eye, or where its eyes would be.
Yeah. Jaquet, within your visions, your dreams, your death, you are sinking in the water, and even though the water fills your lungs, you don't feel like you're drowning. You just feel still. You look up, and in the light of the thunderous lightning above, you just see floating down above you within arm's reach are your two gambler's dice, your two rigged dice.
Touch them.
As your fingertip your claw on one of your fingers touches one of them, they kind of sink perfectly into your hand. And it's at that point that it looks like the waves, you're just seeing that eerie look of waves from beneath the water, the way they look like writhing clouds. And then they seem to all come rushing towards you. And for just a split second, you are one beat. You are in the airship again, and you just see the smile of the lady that I forgot's name.
I might have it.
Nope, I'll have it in 1 second.
It's not scrolling. Navira.
Navira, thank you. You just see like all you're really seeing is a flashing memory of her smile. And the rest of you, as that water rushes down onto his face from your amulet and from the skies and from the lightning, as that lightning strikes and Fyrn looks and stares into the eyes of the old man of the sky, that Jaquet coughs up water. Seawater.
I throw my arms around him. You're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. Oh my god. Oh my, you're okay.
A little space would be appreciated.
Sorry. Fuck.
Fyrn looks back, sees his friend is alive, and gets to his feet and says, "You fulfilled your part. If you wish it necessary, I shall pay whatever price you desire."
The storm just rages. The face is still in the sky, but it's dissipating and aloof, and it's no longer paying attention to you. As quick as it came, the storm is chaos, just begins to rage harder.
When I awaken, are the dice in my hands?
Yes, they are.
He just kind of looks at them and he goes, I think we should get back to the cart.
Yeah. Come on, here. Do you want help?
He throws his arm around her, not saying anything.
Awesome. As I'm walking away with Jaquet, I'll just kind of, as we pass Fyrn, what the fuck did you do?
Fyrn is still, like, inconsolable until all traces of the storm has disappeared from the sky.
It doesn't. The storm is persisting.
Come on. Fyrn, come on.
The face disappears, though.
It would take a while. He would kind of just shrug off Saskia's tugging at first.
You're just gonna stay out here in the storm. Come on, we've got to go. We've got to move. Get off the road. We need to rest. We need to recover. Let's go.
I look back to her and you see this pain in Fyrn's face that you've never seen before. And he looks towards you and says, I don't know what I did.
Whatever it is, it worked. We can figure it out later. Come on, let's go. We need to get to the cart. Come on. I need your help.
I look down at my friend who's on the floor and
No, I pulled him up with me.
okay. I'm about to say something and I catch myself and then I reach over and grab Gloveless and just lift him up. And I'm just holding him on my own. And I leave the sword in the ground as I carry him back to the cart.
Absolutely. And even as you look to the sword where it is, the steel at the base is almost melted into the earth. Almost like it's been flash welded to the ground.
So I wouldn't be able to take it out for him.
No.
Great.
Bruce and Septimus come running up and help you return to the cart. The farmers offer you a place to stay for the night. Basically, they don't even say, like, thank you or anything. They go, over here! Over here! You can't be out in this! Come on! You can stay with us! It's the least we can do! As they bring you back to this creaky farmhouse, barely as big as Septimus's, smaller even, where they bring you all inside. Everyone's soaked to the bone. They give everyone blankets and spare changes of clothes and some hot food. They don't have enough beds for you to stay the night, but you can
I'll sleep on the floor. It's okay.
find the space like that to sleep if you want.
Jaquet gets a bed. We'll make sure Jaquet gets a bed.
Fyrn
He's
doesn't
just-
eat. He just sits staring out at the storm the whole time.
I don't even think Jaquet makes any quips or anything. He just gets lowered into the bed and just kind of nods as he's clutching the dice, white knuckled. and then just like turns away from everyone and just passes out.
I'll pat him on the shoulder as he turns away, and I'm glad you're not dead.
As Bruce and Septimus look on solemnly, you all can find some rest for the evening. Continue your journey next day. The storm outside is wildly raging. The whole house shakes throughout the entire night, and cracks of thunder are louder than you've heard even in the first storm you witnessed here. As rain pours down, the roof begins to leak, water begins to pour in from underneath the doors. It is a sorry night to rest. As several times throughout the night, the shutters of the house rip open and wind comes bursting in, and the farmers have to push everything back together, lock everything down, and you hear them whispering about how this storm is going to destroy their crops. You just hear the hushed noises. Oh, what are we going to do? We'll only be able to harvest half the crops. What if it just ruins the store? He's ruined for the year. As they're just whispering amongst themselves in another room. As spirits give and take. By morning, the skies are perfectly clear. Albeit everything is soaked to the bone. The roof still leaking. The floor with water slick. Outside, there's no sign of the field that was there before. Every single piece of it has been ripped and torn apart. And scattered about. But you are all alive.
Fyrn doesn't sleep that night. He spent the entire time just watching the storm, helping the farmers whenever the things opened up, cleaning up. But whenever he gets a chance, whenever he's not helping them, he's looking out the window, just up into the clouds.
When I wake up in the morning, I think I'll check on Jaquet first.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, Jaquet?
I imagine Jaquet is sleeping in.
Yeah.
And he might stir a little. And like if you touch him or something, he kind of shifts a little and looks over towards you. He's like, "No, mother, what do you want?" He turns back over, clearly very disoriented.
Yep. I'll just put a hand on your shoulder and just say, "Do you need anything?"
Water. No. Oh, no. Water. No.
Water. I can get you water. Okay, water. And so then on my way to go get water for him, I'll bump into Fyrn, I'm assuming he's looking very sleepy, but wide awake at the same time.
Yep.
Did you sleep at all?
I'm scared to sleep, I say with
Why?
a spiky grin.
Why?
What happened? I never thought that would work. I just did. That's what scares me. Whatever that power was beyond our control. I feel like, from the stories of my people, it will return for a price.
I think it's been paid. There's no field.
No. I'm afraid it will come to me in my dreams.
Oh. Well, it's either that or you live a waking nightmare and deal with sleep deprivation. Neither of which sounds good, but what if I sit with you while you sleep? I can hold your hand so you're not alone. So you do need to rest, Fyrn, and you look like shit. You probably feel like it too. And whatever comes for you in your sleep, if anything at all, you won't be alone. Also, I've had some things come to me in my sleep, and it's not so bad. But I understand your fear. I do.
Misery loves company, right? I'm afraid we've both dabbled with powers that we shouldn't have now.
Yeah. And actually, that's what the Onomancer said to me. What'd you say? I'll just take this water to Jaquet and you rest? Yeah.
Maybe. Just a little longer.
Sure.
I
Let me go bring
promise
this water.
I'll sleep soon.
And I'll be by your side. All right.
He nods quietly, but you can still see the pain on his face.
I go bring the water to Jaquet. I don't know if you wake up Jaquet, but I'll kind of help you sit up and drink it.
Yeah, he sets up and he's like, oh, I never want to drink another drop of water, but my throat is killing me.
This is probably a stupid question, but are you all right? Do you need anything else?
He just kind of takes it and, does his usual off-puttish attitude, and then he freezes midway through and relaxes a little, and he goes, I'll be fine. Eventually. Thank you.
We were really scared, both of us. Really scared.
So was I.
You're an asshole, but we don't wish that upon you.
Who would have thought? Random roadside encounter. I guess we're lucky Fyrn had that artifact.
Some quick thinking on his part, but it shook him up. He hasn't slept.
He'll be fine. His people seem to have a different relationship with the elements than us or the Aldhalors or even those over in Halcyon. They fear them like demons almost, it seems.
I mean, it was pretty scary. The storm. I don't know how much of it you remember, but it was nasty.
I remember being saved by a creature with a humanoid face, lightning for hair.
We saw it too. Its face in the sky.
Septimus once named it, didn't he? He once called it, what was it? Septimus, what was it? Right? Because he
Yeah,
had,
and you would see
you know,
Septimus, I imagine, has been incredibly stoic, like at this whole
Yeah.
encounter. And he's almost like looking out the window the same way Fyrn was and scratching at his facial hair and just mutters very quietly, Eyeless.
I don't put much stock in the gods, but that thing, and a little bit of luck, he says, as his, like, you can't tell even, because, you know, he's got that high sleight of hand, but he's still palming those dice as he's holding this glass of water, or cup of water. That thing and a little luck brought me back.
Right. Right. I'm gonna go sit with Fyrn for a bit. Just shout if you need something, yeah?
And as you turn to go, he, like, reaches out and holds you, and he looks at you, and in one of those moments of earnest and sincerity that Jaquet has, he goes, Thank you, Saskia. And thank Fyrn for me.
I will. I go back down to Fyrn. If it's any comfort, Fyrn, Jaquet is tired, but seems well. Less of a dick, actually, so maybe you did us all a favor. With a weak attempt at a smile.
Fyrn still is not reciprocating. He says, "The favor's the problem."
All right, all right. Here, give me your hand.
I do.
And I'll just hold it with both of mine, because I imagine your hand is much bigger than mine.
It was shaking before you pressed it down.
Yeah. We're right here. Fyrn, whatever, if anything comes for you, we're right here. Yeah?
Right.
This is scary, I know. Very scary. Just sit with him and hold his hand.
Yes.
I think
Go ahead.
after a little while of sitting like that, Fyrn looks at her and says, "Do you remember what was your first memory?"
My first memory.
Do you know what it would be?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow. It's waking up on a ship covered in seawater and spitting it out. I remember somebody asking me what my name was, and I just said Saskia. Why?
How did you feel in that moment?
Scared, relieved that I wasn't dead, confused as to how I got there. Still am, frankly. I don't know how I got there. A lot of things. That's a lot of things. What's your first memory?
Just a long time ago. Pretty typical of my people. But I want to know how do you live the way you do? not knowing what happened to you. Who is controlling your life like a puppet on the strings?
I let go of his hand at that. I'm controlling my life, Fyrn. I am. Sure, I have somebody that talks to me, but I make my choices. I make my decisions. I chose not to lick the crystal, and now I can't, thanks to you. But that's a good thing. I mean that in a good way. I didn't really want to.
He finally breaks his somber mode and gives a small smile and says, "It may feel that way, but whatever it is that gives you your powers, it does have sway. And it will ask of you in the future.
I'm looking at you kind
It's
of
just
like...
how spirits work."
I'm a little wary now. I'm in control, Fyrn.
But we both owe a debt. A debt that...
No, I paid that. You were fucking there. I had to catch a fucking pig.
no pig will solve that debt. If you're still using the powers,
How do you know
you're
so much
still
about
owed.
that? How do you know so much about that? What if I was born with it?
The symptoms are there. I've heard stories of men and women of your kind. People who give themselves to the spirits in exchange for power or wealth.
Better life?
Better life. Most of these stories don't end well. But then again, most Glacier Men stories don't end well.
I'm writing my story, Fyrn. I'm
I'm not...
powerful.
You are powerful. But I'm not sure I believe that just yet. What I do believe is we're stronger together. And then I take your hand again.
I'll sit there but now you've made me think.
And you both will sit there in your own stoic pondering of life as the morning goes on. The farmers give you some thin porridge, mostly water, with a little bit of oats. Septimus and Bruce and Sal get the cart ready. The air outside is a mixture of an ozone-like smell and cinnamon, as the air feels staticky. Some of your hair stands up. Presence of Eyeless is still here, even if there's no storm.
As Jaquet gets up and starts to, get dressed, he forgoes some of his ostentatious neck garments. As you see, he puts on a necklace of seashells in driftwood. A necklace he thought was worth so much more. And maybe now he sees the true price of it.
And you get into your cart Septimus talks with the farmers who offer up some feed for your horses for what you've done. Help them. Despite their land being torn apart, they believe they would be dead if you didn't show up. And you depart. Make your way to Hyvin. This fight sort of pushed you back by half a day. So instead of arriving on Tears Dog night, or Maris near night, you'll arrive midday on Bensdock. The journey home is somewhat quiet, I'm sure, as the days go on, the 2.5 days travel. You make your stop in Fairhold, camp out there. Though you're in what should be safe lands now, you still feel a bit jittery looking around. Though with each passing day and the calmer weather, the distance from Eyeless's presence, the more normal the days feel, as normal as they can. But on Bensdog early afternoon, you see in the distance the old ruined gates and the two roads that lead into Hyvin proper as you've arrived back to the city. On Bensdog.
Just in time
24th.
for fight night.
Thank you, I was just writing
Fyrn.
that out.
I imagine, Fyrn, have you been kind of somber these last couple of days?
I think that the night that I missed, I probably slept in the cart for the day
Mm-hmm.
and then stayed up at night, and the extra day was spent kind of adjusting my sleep schedule, so I'm kind of still on those night owl hours,
Got it.
feeling a little groggy in the morning.
So I would have said, like, in an attempt to kind of like cheer you up, we're back for fight night. You wanted to do that, right? Go back and make a name for yourself.
It'll be
Are you-
good.
You're feeling up to it? I'll come
Yeah, I
cheer you
think
on.
so. Get my mind off things.
Chewing on something. Yeah, I think so too.
I think you guys should go get us somewhere to sleep. Septimus and I'll return the cart. We'll meet up later.
Okay, I assume that we'd be staying at the Keston Crow again.
Yeah. Why don't you go get us our rooms? And me and Septimus will go to the university.
Oh, are you gonna collect the reward from Sigil?
Just returning the cart.
Okay. Actually, and Jaquet's going to take out the itemized receipt that he has. And by itemized, I mean he's circled a number in silver that I will get to you.
Yeah.
By
next
as
week.
he hands it to Bruce and goes, I mean, actually, this is for Sigil, so never mind.
Ah.
Puts it back.
Great.
Okay,
Didn't
good
know-
luck, have fun.
Didn't know you were keeping track of that. All right. Bye.
Of course I would.
And they go off with the cart to return it, and the three of you
Okay.
have the city to yours. What would you like to do on your first afternoon back?
I'd like to go splash around in the sea, please.
Okay. Do you just run away right now, or do you tell your friends, or do you
No,
wait
I'm
until
not.
after you? Yeah, I guess what are you guys doing right now?
Let's go get settled at the Cask and Crow, and then I will inform them that is where I'm going. I'm not just gonna fuck off.
Good idea. I agree. I also have things I want to do, but
Yeah.
Cast and Crow first.
Okay, great. So it's easy enough to go to the Cask and Crow, find your way up High Road, and head over in there. When you get inside, it's fairly quiet, but not empty. You know, there's about maybe 8 or so people there, in a couple groups. You see some folks clearly enjoying their lunch, and some who seem like they're there for meetings or whatnot. Not really many people in the private booths. It's mostly just folks enjoying their lunch there. And you can easily go up and get some rooms you'd like. Jaquet, do you order the same?
Oh, yes, of course. You know, Jaquet, at the start of our return journey, or post-trauma, you know, Jaquet might have been quieter, not, you know, as reading as much and kind of like staring out. But by the end, he's kind of gotten back into his old, you know, like making quips at Fyrn and saying silly things. And so by the time we get, he still wears the necklace, the seashell necklace. But when he's there, he's like, what's her name?
Kana.
Anna?
Kana.
Kana.
With a K.
He's like, Kana, hello, how are you?
And you see she's like just like pouring a draft for a customer, and then she looks over and she does have like a big grin at seeing you. Like she obviously hasn't seen you all in almost 2 weeks, or two, probably just about, yeah, because you spent a day there. Yeah, basically just about 2 weeks. And she smiles big, and she finishes the pour, hands it over. The person tosses her a silver, and she kind of comes around the bar and throws a rag over her shoulder. She's still wearing kind of that like very practical, nice working clothes, you know, high-waisted breeches, that nice silk shirt. And she has even kind of like this sort of ascot that's kind of like a tie that's red. Her hair held back, and with her hair held back, you can really see the large elven ears. As she smiles and looks and says, "I thought I was never going to see you all again. Welcome back. Welcome back."
Why would you think that? I specifically told you that we would be back.
That's true. That's true. You had mentioned something about a safe, sourcing a safe for you, for your room.
Yes. Yep, to keep some of my more personal effects safe.
Yeah. Excellent. Usual spread. Nice room for you. Closet for you. The street for you.
And a shared room for other friends.
Oh yes,
Who's
yes.
Septimus?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Closet.
I can't front the other ones. I spent too much money last time I was here, and we haven't gotten paid yet. I say that to
Okay. So I mean, it's the usual 2 silver for the closet, and the usual. I forgot what I charged you for the big room. I believe it was
1 gold.
1 gold. Thank you. Oh, my instincts were right. 2 silver for the closet, each closet, 2 silver each, and 1 gold for you. I mean, if you want to, Miss Sassy.
I've got a primo
Saskia
spot.
can sleep on the couch if she so wishes. He says, and is like literally like actually like it's shameful that he's saying this.
Oh,
At least for tonight. I guess.
Great.
Give Kana a nice smile, nice little
Great.
smug ass smile.
I truthfully forgot your name was Saskia. I was just saying you're sassy. But great. Just please don't just like, I don't know. Be polite.
Don't worry. She'll be on her best behavior, won't you? It feels weird doing it this way. Usually it's the other way around.
Well, great. Okay, 1 gold for you, and then 2 silver for you, Fyrn, and then whoever wants to cover the 2 silver for your friends.
I've got it.
Great. And she goes over and grabs the keys. And you can see Jaquet, like, she knows which room you've been in, and she gets the exact right one, and brings it over. Very much so a room that's not frequently used, and often is only either used by is usually like reserved. If anyone wants to use it, they'll send a messenger ahead and say like, "Oh, we're going to be in town for a month. We want to reserve the nice room." There's only two of them really. So you have your rooms. You are all set in the cask and row.
Oh, it feels good to be back.
You have no idea. Oh, I cannot wait. Kana, if you don't mind, have a bath drawn up for me? I have some appointments I need to see to later.
Oh, absolutely, Mr. Touchard. That'll be ready in your room. I mean, if you want, we can, for a little extra, we can give you the works. If you got 5 silver, we can get a full, bath salts and everything you might need for a fully relaxing. It comes with a nice bottle of wine as well. Because otherwise you can draw the bath yourself up there. The tub is right in the room, but we can have it made for you.
By the divine, that sounds perfect, Kana. After what I went through, perfect.
So there's another. If you throw another 5 silver in there, we can also offer you the deluxe treatment, which will come with a nice tray.
Put it all in. Put it all in. Put it on my tab.
Make it 2.
Make it 2.
You said it. You said it. You said it. He said it. You heard him. He said it. He said make it 2.
Oh, is that so, Mr. Touchard?
He takes out a gold, because that would be 20 silver, and puts it on the table. We deserve it. And then he looks over at Fyrn. White Eye? Would you like to join?
That's all right. You'll make it up to me later.
He just nods and slides the gold over to Kana.
She kindly takes it, and you see she rushes over to one of her employees, and they go running off to get your spa day all set up.
Spa day!
Just like Alex predicted.
Just like Alex predicted. Yep.
Yeah, somewhere up in the sky right now, Alex, we are fulfilling your your expectation.
Maybe not the other one, though.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, no. So they are going to be drawing a hot bath for you all, or for the 2 of you. And with the finest scented bath salts, you'll have a bottle of wine. There is a... You would also get like a tray of oysters. There would be, fine cheeses and meats, a charcuterie board, and it's the works.
Is this how you live all the fucking time?
No. Usually I have servants who do everything for me, and I don't have to pay for it. It's just part of the household.
Fuck.
And nicely, gently in the middle of kind of the cradle of all of these beautiful foods is 2 wrapped squares of chocolate.
Jaquet doesn't even seem interested in his chocolate. He, takes one of the shells. Are they on the ice?
Yes.
And he just slurps one, grabs another one, grabs the bottle of wine, and starts digging at the cork with his teeth as he walks over to the tub, and he's gonna mage hand to grab the divider and
Nice.
pull across. And he goes, "Enjoy on my coin." As you hear the pop of the cork, and then a very loud civilization.
I'm staring mesmerized at this chocolate because I don't know that I've ever had it.
I imagine it would have been maybe like a hand. If you have had chocolate, it would be like a couple of times when you had enough money to get some from scavenging.
I'm gonna unwrap it and just kind of look at it. I love rich people.
I heard that.
Thank you, Jaquet.
It's very rich, very velvety, very sweet. It's almost like a fudge more so than it is like a chocolate bar. So it melts in the mouth, and it's the sweetest thing you've ever had. Perfectly balanced. A specialty of the Whistling Mountain candy shop.
Amazing. I love that this is a thing.
Yep, and the oysters also come with a very nice mignonette, as well as a chili sauce of sorts, with lemons, fresh lemons, not the old sour ones in Sass's bag that have fermented.
You see Jaquet's clothes go over the top that he throws up there, and then you just hear the as does that come through when I clap?
That did not come through that time.
That one didn't.
Clap, clap. As you don't see it, but you just see the tray of oysters get lifted in the air, turn and start to go, and then it comes back and grabs the spicy
chili sauce
and the chili sauce and puts it on before it walks away.
Can I have your chocolate?
Go ahead.
Thank you. And you see Sass's clothes, boop, boop, and then a big splash. She jumps into the tub.
Oh, no.
And I'm just under the water because I can breathe under the water.
Yeah, it's a million times better than the bucket of dirty salt water that they used to wash themselves with in the hostel that you've been staying in.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than waking up to that one guy who's in the other cot washing himself with a rag, looking at you, be like, "What are you looking at?"
Yep, I'm just savoring this lovely, lovely bath.
Oh yeah, and it's got these beautiful scents of lavender and honey, and there's almost a sweetness to the air all around you. As it's not like a full bubble bath. There's just sort of this lathery surface to it that is more sophisticated than a full bubble bath.
Ah, gotcha.
With a slight violet hue to the water.
And I would have once I've got my fill of being underwater, I'll just sit in the bath, and I wouldn't have taken the amulet off, and I'll just kind of be like playing with it and then just call over the divider. So I'm going to go to the ocean after this lovely, lovely bath.
Okay.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Well, I guess we'll wait for the nerds to come back before we go to Sigil. Oren had said he could potentially get me some work. Doing my trade, being a bard.
You want more work.
It's true.
I thought you had enough gold so that you didn't need to.
Well, what's the point of gold if you don't have more gold to make up the gold that you spent? I mean, it's not limitless.
Right. Do you want to come with me to the water?
You hear a weighted pause as Jaquet goes, "Do I have to go in the water?"
No, you could just sit there on the sand. You don't have to go in. Only if you want to.
And the divider gets pulled back, so you just see Jaquet lounging, the bottle of wine still in his hand, and the tray of oysters across the tub.
Yeah.
As he just kind of looks over his patchy fur, still regrowing and healing. As he goes, "I'll be honest, I'm intrigued by this voice that speaks to you."
Yeah. She said some weird shit. I want some answers, and the only way I can really do that is by going into the ocean, which is where she talks the clearest.
You wouldn't happen to know her name, would you?
No. I don't even know my name. Why would I know hers?
Well, your name is Saskia. It doesn't matter
That's the
how
name that I...
you got it.
Yes, but it's missing. Jaquet is missing. It's missing, and I don't like it missing. So I'm gonna go ask her where it is. I'm gonna ask her to give it back. So I'm pretty sure she's the one that has it.
Don't know if that's how names work, but okay, fair enough.
And so you want to go to Orin to get some more work. Do you want to, and then
Yes.
after maybe we go support Fyrn at Fight Night? Maybe rile up the crowd a bit like you're so good at?
I suppose I can do that. I think they still want me to pay back the debt,
Oh,
quote unquote, that they think I owe.
well, you know what? There's a fabulous way that you can do that. And me, Saskia, would pay money to see you do a walk of shame.
Do you really think I would ever? Honestly. And then he's going to mage hand the divider.
Worth a shot. Be entertaining. You'd be a hit with the crowd.
You just hear in response.
Yeah, I imagine Jaquet ignores you for the rest of the bath.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so you two languish in the bath for however long you want, or until the water kind of grows tepid, and can rejoin Fyrn downstairs. Fyrn, I imagine, what would you have been doing during this sort of? It probably is like only really like, half hour that they're up there.
Yeah, I think that Fyrn would probably just be getting a little drunk. I mean, he doesn't drink like it takes a lot to get Fyrn drunk, but he has a few drinks and he hangs around the bar sort of area. Just nice to be in a comfortable establishment. Keeps an eye out on the locals, if there's
Yeah.
people he hasn't seen before, anything new, or keeps an ear open in case there's any rumors that are flying around, stuff like that.
Yeah, the overall, I'll say if you have 3 drinks, 2 drinks,
Yeah, let's say 3.
3. Okay, it's just going to cost you 1 silver, 5 copper.
Sure.
But as you're kind of watching the people around, you see mostly they're just going about their day. The one thing that, and perhaps even the reason why you all like the Cask and Crow, is that people kind of mind their business there. They're not really the types to be getting outrageously drunk, so they're not going to be pushy or anything. It's really a nice place if you really want to lay low and have the means to look at least nice enough to be here. But after about an hour, your friends would return with their hair looking silky smooth and nice, and the fresh smell of honeyed lavender coming off of them.
I look cleaner than you've ever seen me in my life.
Because I don't think you've washed properly once since you've met them. You've gone in
Nope.
the ocean.
Yep. But that's dry and salty.
Mhm.
Yep.
Wow, who are these 2 new brand spanking adventurers?
Oh,
Right out the bath.
Fyrn baths are lovely. Thank you again, Jaquet. I much appreciate it.
I think I've made you a convert. Hey, I should be a cleric.
Cleric of baths.
Cleric of baths.
I do enjoy a good bath every once in a while, but
Oh,
the ones that are around here are a little too warm for my tastes.
so, Fyrn, we were chatting upstairs. I need to go speak with the ocean. So I was going to head down there, and Jaquet was going to come, I think, right? You were just going to sit on the sand if you wanted to.
He's still holding the bottle of wine. Yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued after what a stupid fucking rock could do. Seeing the things you've done, I would like to meet this water lady or whatever the fuck he talks to.
Well, I don't know that you're going to meet her. Like I said, she likes the water. She doesn't really like the land. But anyway, do you want to come, Fyrn? Then we were going to go... Were we going to go over to the Harlequin Chalice? That's where Orin is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Harlequin Chalice. Speak with Orin.
And then we were going to go watch you fight.
The Harlequin and Chalice sounds great. I definitely want to go there. I had a few things to talk about with Orin too. I was hoping maybe we could, share our services with the people there. I know he's got that board of jobs. Maybe we could do a little advertising, I feel like we work well together, and I can't rely on I don't think we should rely on Sigil being our only source of work.
You said it correctly earlier.
No, I
sorry,
agree.
it's
but-
infectious. He's been saying Sigil all the whole ride down.
Actually, it was the ride up, and then on the ride down, I was being respectful because I knew that we were getting closer, and I didn't want to misspeak in front of him. Anyways, we do still have that open murder case. I mean, it's been only 11 days, not 2 weeks, since we were last here.
I said almost 2 weeks.
Okay, just want to clarify for the folks at home. So things may have happened. But we could still check out and see what's happening.
But I also kind of wanted to find out how this thing works, as I show that there's like some sort of latch that is attached to the weapon that I recovered off of the bandits. I was wondering maybe I should go to a blacksmith or someone who could help me figure out how to wield this thing.
Does that look similar to the powder box
Do you want to give me a
have-
quick investigation check to see if there's any similarities?
Natural one.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a 2.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say there was something to be gained there, and you automatically are gonna get something, but there was something more to be gained. You certainly can see the similarities without needing a full roll. You can see there is clearly a part of the sword that is has similar filigree to the powder box you have, where it looks like a piece has been added to the sword. So the hilt itself is longer than it probably should be, and it looks as though the bottom of the hilt, the pommel, has been augmented in some way, which is also where you would have seen anyone who was out in the fight would have seen that's where that discharged vial came out when she turned it into a lightning sword.
It kind of looks like that gun that Hastings had. It sounded like the nerds needed to use the Academy's workshop to properly tinker with it. Maybe wait to see them. They might know more, or go to the Academy yourself. I mean, a blacksmith may be just as good, but they may end up pointing you in that direction anyways.
Right. I guess that makes sense. I suppose that clears up my schedule. I do need a new cloak. This one got pretty burnt up. I'll just come with you guys. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay. So is it to the underside of the pier?
The ocean.
To the ocean.
Okay, so you can head out of the Cask and Crow, head up through the alley out of High Road into the waterside. Harborside. Waterside is a place in Connecticut. And head over to the pier. I mean, it's simple enough. No, people are just going about their day. No one's staring at you or anything like that. It's probably the one time you've been in this city that you haven't been looking over your shoulder as much. And you can head down some of the steps to the side, and you feel the sand beneath your feet, and you can see where the rocky underside of this wharf is, as the water is just.
Right. I'll just be a minute. Yeah, just gonna take a little dip. I'm gonna leave my shoes here, and yeah, just don't go wandering too far. Yeah.
Fyrn just sits on the beach, where the water hits his feet, and just starts throwing rocks into the water.
Yeah.
Jaquet is like not wandering, but he's like he's watching Sass kind of intently and is like, this seems rather lame. I'm just gonna walk into the water. I thought there would be a little more pageantry, a little whatever. And he's just gonna observe.
Yep. Took my boots off, so I put my feet in the water and kind of just stand there for a second. And then I run and I dive into the waves.
Okay.
And just
how far do you
kind of
go?
Like,
Or you just...
I go far enough out that like when I stand up, I'm still like underwater.
Yeah, no problem. That's easy enough to do. It's you feel kind of the gentle caress of the waves bringing you in and out. You're able to kind of swim against them outward and find yourself in a space where you're not like, it's not like endless water beneath you. See the below, and you can see some of the seagrass. Basically you go out until you can see seagrass, and then you kind of just float amongst them.
Yep, just floating. And all right, I'm in the water. Can we talk, please?
Give me a D100 roll and call high or low.
Low.
Okay.
$70.
70, so it was high.
Yep.
The seagrass billows against your feet as you're floating there, as you can feel the seaweed. Although I imagine you kept your boots on. Oh, did you take your boots off?
No, I took my boots off.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, so you can kind of feel that and feel the waves sifting through. And you're kind of like in a moment where you're standing. You're swimming. You're keeping yourself afloat, but also keeping yourself down. And you just kind of for a moment are completely with the water. And then you feel the seaweed come up your legs and it hugs you. And it slowly keeps climbing though.
Wait.
And then is up over your chest. And then ups over
right.
your arms.
Uh-oh.
Pulls your arms in tight. And you're kind of held now in this cocoon. Your head is out still. And it's just sort of now you feel the waves like pushing you back and forth as this weird cocoon in the water.
Is this necessary?
It does feel... It doesn't feel like she's trying to kill you or
No.
hold you still. It's almost, oddly enough, a hug.
A hug. Okay. Right. I missed you too. I think. Where are you? Can I see you?
You see a school of fish swimming by, and they seem to be doing their own thing, and then suddenly dramatically jerk and swims all towards you. And it's a full school of fish. Like, I'm talking thousands of fish that then just start to swim all around you. So you're in this storm of fish held by seaweed.
Great. How about your actual face? This is a lot. This is a lot.
The fish dissipate and swim away, almost spooked when you say this. And the water to you, with like I imagine your devil sight extends into water, where it's like where a normal person looking in the water would not be able to see very far into the ocean because of just sort of the material within the water. It's cloudy in some places, or as it gets further away, you have a much better sight underwater than others. It's not perfect, you don't see everything. Sure. It's not a true sight, but you see like out in the water where it's a little deeper. You just sort of see the silhouette of a kind of like humpback whale for a second, deep out into the water. But then you see that kind of disappears quickly as you catch that. like almost like you're distracted by that for a moment, and in your mind, you're
Yeah.
almost like, is that her? And that is like almost like you get excited, like that's cool, that's much cooler than what she usually does.
Yeah.
But then that gets eclipsed by another strand of seaweed coming up, another grouping of it that sort of forms into the silhouette of a female form.
Ah. There you are.
And you see from that seaweed woman, because it doesn't like form and then turn into her. It is
Sure.
a mermaid-esque form
Yeah.
that comes together, and then you can see coming out of the seaweed is the eye on the lantern.
Right. I'll get right to it then. Did you take my name? Do you have it? And if yes, can I have it back?
And you see the hand comes up and does like the hand of the seaweed, which is just a flap of seaweed, like the actual hand. It's not formed perfectly. Just kind of caresses your cheek. And then kind of wraps it at your neck. Not choking you, but clearly like holds onto the side of your neck.
Yeah.
And you just would hear from her in a sweet voice, not the manic cries, shrieking cries you've heard in your head. It just simply says, "Oh, my sweet, I took nothing."
But it's missing.
As you gave it to me.
Is it?
And then that seaweed turns into a humanoid hand with these nails that are like made of like almost like oyster shell formed into a pointed fingernails.
Yeah.
And this sort of greenish blue sea green skin that then kind of transitions to these opulent or opalescent scales, grabs your chin and squeezes your cheeks like a mother to a bratty child. You can kind of feel the points of the oyster shell, serrated and jagged, digging slightly, not penetrating, but digging in.
Yeah. Can I take it back?
Of course not. You knew the terms. That life is gone. With the name. And your eye. You are mine. And a hand pulls and scratches your cheek.
Ow. I can't do that.
Now be thankful I don't let the rot of the sea burrow into that wound. And when I ask you to take power for me, you will do it next time.
What do you need it for? You're clearly powerful.
And she kind of backs away from you, and that hand turns back into seaweed. And she starts to, almost like the seaweed starts to come apart.
Yeah.
Not strong enough yet. For your sake. Do as I wish, or you will die with me. And the seaweed comes apart. You just hear a whisper in your head. You don't know what dangers threaten you without me. And then she's gone. You can feel her presence leave you.
Yeah. Is the scratch still there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it stings like hell as the salt of the sea gets into it.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck. I'll kind of like float there for a second, just kind of like contemplating and rubbing at it, and then I'll exhale underwater, bubbles, and turn around and walk back out of the water. And you guys would see I'm coming back out. This big scratch on my cheek. Kind of like looking confused and a little scared, but then as soon as she sees you, like just perks up and is just like, got what I needed.
Scratch on the cheek?
Yeah, fucking rock. I just against a rock. Wasn't paying attention.
I'm sorry, are you trying to bullshit the bullshitter?
No. There's lots of rocks out
okay.
there.
Sure.
Ah. Right. Kind of stretching and
you got your
shaking
name back, or?
oh fuck no. No, that's long gone. Apparently I was the one that gave it. But I don't remember.
Yeah, that kind of checks out.
I don't
Yep,
remember.
usually how it works.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you know about this and I don't?
I'm sorry, have you never, like, read, Galvin's, theories on patronage? I mean,
I don't read.
you think you're the first person to make a pact with an otherworldly being?
Fuck off. Let's go. Let's go.
Turning to Fyrn, Jaquet goes, well, I guess at least it's not a fiend. I hear those packs. Whew. Boy, howdy, I tell you. It's really the Celestials that are the weird ones.
I gurr at him, I growl, and show my teeth.
Gotta write that down. Galvin's. That's good. That was good for coming up with one real quickly. I like
Thanks.
it. Galvin is now a character. Galvin's now a researcher into otherworldly beings.
Galvin, he's one of the most renowned warlocks.
Mm-hmm. Galvin, the renowned warlock. Excellent. I love it, actually. Not a lot of books in Shallow's Gone, to where Sass was spending her time. They're not book learners there often, unless you're of a particular caste. Anyway, so what next as you leave the beach with a cryptic message? Probably the most clear message she's given you, actually.
She made herself very clear.
Well, maybe we head to Harlequin Chalice?
Yep.
Sure.
Actually, on the way, Sean, could I purchase a spyglass?
Oh yeah, easily. You can go to many of the. There's plenty of shops on Harborside that would sell things like that for sailors.
Oh my god.
It would. Do you have 1,000 silver? I was not expecting it to be that expensive.
Neither was I. I vaguely remember being surprised too, way back in a certain off-stream campaign that I ran. Some adventurers were like, "We want to get a mirror."
I'm going to say that it's cheaper than that in this world that's not a medieval world, but is more of an industrialized society. I'm not going to say it's super cheap, but I am going to cut it back to let's because I feel like that's way too much. I'm going to cut it back to 250 silver.
250.
How much is a sextant? While we're asking these questions.
I was just thinking, I was like, all right, Jaquet has a lot of gold. We just encountered a situation where it would have been good to know what we were fighting. I kind of assumed it was a wyvern, but, a spyglass probably would have been like, you know what it is. And it's just a useful thing. So 250 silver.
1 second.
say?
Let me just look one thing up real quick.
Sure, whatever you want.
Let's see. I'm actually gonna make it less than that, truthfully.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it 100 silver.
Oh, gee willikers, don't have to twist my arm.
Kids are selling them on the street like
I just looked up how much a real spyglass cost in the 19th century, and it was not that much.
Okay.
So I'm not going to charge you significantly amount when you're in this shipbuilding society that probably has a lot of spyglasses that they produce. And sure, it still requires craftsmanship, so it's not going to cost as cheap as a real spyglass was back in the day. Otherwise, I'd only be charging you 4 silver.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, this one spyglass, I suppose, that I found that had its price engraved in it. 4 pounds and 4 shillings.
Good to know.
But yeah,
Alright,
100,
cool.
100 silver for a spyglass. And you're easily able to pick that up in Harborside before heading over to Main Street, where the Harlequin Chalice is. Main Street is bustling as usual, with folk coming to and fro, being kind of the most busy city or busy street in the city during the midday. Folks going to the Whistling Mountain Potion Company, people going to the Arsenal, people going to the bookstore, and all over the place. You can head over to Harlequin Chalice. You see the familiar Harlequin painting on the side of the brick building. You can head on inside, and it's a very similar vibe to Cask and Crow, where people are enjoying lunch. Although in this location, they might be having a few extra drinks during their lunch break compared to the Cask and Chalice. And some of them might just be starting their drinking for the rest of the evening, even though it's only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you see that familiar message board on there that's looking rather barren right now. And a few other out-of-towners hanging out. But Orin is certainly there, as he usually is during the midday and some of the evenings. And he is carrying over some food to a table, puts it all down and you know, shakes some hands, taps some backs, and then looks up and sees you all there and gets a big grin on his face that then shrinks a little bit when he notices Bruce is not with you.
I was gonna
Orin! Bless you. Orin, my friend. Yes, sorry, our little kobold is preoccupied with some of his nerdy affairs. But we're here. Gesundheit.
Well, it's good to see you all. And you see he pulls out like kind of like a, you know, he just takes a quick drink from kind of this, not flask, he's drinking water from just like a water skin at his side because Sean wants to have water. Hey, you all been gone for a very long time. I've been missing you. Been boring around here.
Oh, well then don't worry, we brought the party! You know what I'm saying?
Oh, if it's anything like the last time you were here, and if you're still thinking about my deal I offered you, I talked to Mr. KR about it, and I think that we might be able to spare a bit of a budget this year to get a little in-house bard action going, depending on how much you want to work.
Fantastic. Well, I think for now, maybe a weekly appearance, and should the people appreciate it, I can be here more often. I mean, I think we have a few days of downtime, right, gang? So maybe a few nights in a row I could entertain, depending on what your budget allows.
Well, you all look right tired, so I'm surprised if you would be doing anything too extensive on yourselves over the next few days. So yeah, I think we can organise something. Talk to Mr. KR. What we're going to be able to offer you is let's see here, and you see he kind of like is doing some math in his head. And he's well, a certain percentage of drink purchases during your performance, as well as a base rate if that is not covered by the drink purchase percentage. So we can guarantee you, if you're playing, we can guarantee you, depending on how large the crowd is and what night it is, it's anywhere between 5 and 10 silver per performance, if it's not covered by a percentage of drink sales.
For my first gig in town, I think that's more than agreeable.
And we're not always going to be able to offer it to you every single night. You might come in and we go, oh, there's no spots for you. We got another performer in. We got someone else who's in. But we'll guarantee you at least we can guarantee you is at least 2 performances a month minimum. But we're more so hoping for some sort of weekly exchange like you mentioned.
Pretty soon, after I play here a few times, you'll be begging me to be in here every night of the week. Even a mundog.
What's a mundog?
How you say in common, Monday? Because that's technically what the gods wrote.
Right. I forgot you from Granville. Yeah, Monday, 9 a.m. Yeah. We don't get much business then. We probably would never ask you to perform on a Monday.
Right, but my point was that I'm so good that you want me here on a Mundog because I would draw the crowds just by my appearance.
Yeah, but no one comes on a Monday.
Right, but I'm saying I would be here and therefore they would come.
But no one's ever here on a Monday.
Come. Right. I feel like I'm slipping into your accent a little bit.
That was good.
Orin, have you seen any of our friends lately? Sylvana or perhaps that Kellen guy?
Oh yeah. Dragonborn fella messing around from fucking Hyvin times. No, I don't think he's gonna come back around here unless he really's got to. I'm gonna give him quite the earful when he was here last. No, I've not seen Dovana. No. Some chap from the university came in the other day, checked to see if y'all were here. But I told him I hadn't seen you in some time. I'm just someone looking for you, saying, just checking around.
Tall guy, pale, doesn't take a joke.
Sounds like him. Yeah, he was a piece of work. Yeah. We're glad to see you all back, and look forward to connecting with old Bruce.
We'll be sure to send him along once he's available.
Right.
Good.
We're all looking for a place to
news,
stay. We're gonna get rooms.
No, but I had one more question for you.
Oh. All right. Yeah. So you all staying somewhere nice, asking Crow, like he's whatever. Okay, fine. What was your question, Fyrn?
I see your board over there is looking a little sparse. I was wondering if I could put up an advertisement of my own.
You're looking to put up an advertisement? Yeah. Well, is a community board usually is free for folks who want part of the community, so you can absolutely put something up there. That's kind of how I met you all. You took on that job from old Septimus. Yeah, sure. It doesn't get a lot of traffic these days, truthfully. Heard that most folk have been going elsewhere for their adventurers. Every day I feel like we're getting less adventurers around here. More merchants and...
Where are the adventurers going?
Oh, so some folks have been saying they've been wandering around Cross Alley a bit more. Just generally not as many adventurers. I don't think they're really looking at our city as profitable for adventuring. The less we've got issues like ghouls in the basements, that kind of stuff. We also need someone to go pick up boxes for us. It's a lot more fetch quests these days, and adventurers don't really seem to like those.
Don't know, gets you out of town for a bit, see the countryside. maybe you
Boring is
encounter
good. It means your town
random
is safe.
wyvern that kills you, and then
Kills
an
you?
elemental
What?
god thing
Elemental
has to save
god?
you. You'll hear it all in my performance. How's tomorrow night?
We don't got no one in tomorrow. If the land's near. It's a good night. Probably make your minimums for the drink percentages. Probably pull some good coin.
Ian's been sitting down, and he like immediately after he said yes, he's been sitting down drawing up a little poster.
Oh, I can't wait to hear the description of that.
Please, Clayton's gonna make one in MS Paint.
I was just.
I
Gonna
was
say
literally
that.
typing in MS. I wrote paint in my search bar as you were saying that sentence.
It's as Fyrn sits down to do that, and Jaquet, you say that. Orin does look over to Sass. Oh dear. Oh, you're bleeding. You're bleeding. I was looking a little red too.
Oh no! It's just fine. It's fine. I just scratched it on a rock. That I'm doing your accent too. Just scratched it on a rock. I went swimming.
Oh, it's real dangerous, ain't it? I'll go.
Yeah.
No. Come here. We gotta clean that up. You'll get fisherman's rot.
Oh, right. I've had that before. So all right. Thank you.
Yeah, I had a friend. We used to call him Gretch. And he had his whole fucking arm cut off because of one little cut on his elbow when he was out clamming. Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah.
always like to keep my head.
Still a great fisherman. Well, anyway, come on. And he'll get a rag and some some medicine and dabs it, and it stings.
Ugh.
Feels cold and spiky, piercy like Rockside does.
Much appreciated.
Jaquet turns to Orin and goes, so are you gonna have flyers or something? Maybe get the criers out, announce my performance tomorrow night?
Well, yeah, we'll do a little bit of that. I mean, we're not gonna be, we don't want to lose too much money on this, so we'll see how it goes first. We'll do a little bit of it. We're gonna put some signs out and get some word out, but see how you do, and then we'll get, and you should probably do a little bit of it yourself. Mr. KR doesn't want to put too much money in up front. He wants to see what you can do. So I would personally, I would have already, truthfully, I would have already taken out a full-page ad in the Hyvin Times if I had my way of it. But Mr. KR, he doesn't know you like I do, mate.
Maybe you could set up a meeting between me and him. I know generally he doesn't show his face around here, but for his new entertainment, and such a big name as Jaquet Touchard, have you not heard of my father?
Who's your pa?
Never mind.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you. I don't do much
I'm not offended. I'm just
reading,
ignorance.
Is your father a rich man? Is he working the Commodore's office? Was he up in the rock? Or
that's right.
Oh, you're not from here. You're
my
not from
family's
here.
not from here, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know much about Gwen Valeri stuff.
You should. It's the height of civilization. Well, no, I guess that's Halcyon. Even I understand that.
I heard that whole continent was wiped out by a big old slug.
I'm sorry? Slug? Wiped out?
Hey, some flying slug
wayward
came out of the
Are you
sky
kidding
and
me?
destroyed the whole
Have
continent.
you not heard about the... oh my god. I swear. The Pallid King.
I'm just messing with you, man. I know the continent's still there, but I did hear about a big old slug out of the sky that fucked it up a bit.
No, it wasn't a slug. It was a fucking... I don't know. I wasn't actually around, but I've heard the stories. It sounds truly awful.
Yeah, well. Anyway, best make your own name around here, mate. Am I right? Know what I mean?
Touché. Yes, you're right.
It's
yes,
like it is.
Sorry.
He looks over to Saskia. Just calling it his last name. Touché. Touchard.
I was just about to say touché, touchard.
It's very silly. That's very silly,
like
mate.
this. I don't like
very
this.
silly.
No.
Touche, touche.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be your bard's name.
That
That
you know what? We'll put that
That's
on the
what-
flyers.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I'm
no.
gonna. I'm gonna be one of those cries that you would just talk. Fuck those, those. I lost the accent. Those cries that you talked about, Jaquet, and I'm gonna go and you know what? I'm gonna go right now. Hey everyone!
Hey, no, wait. This is what we're gonna call. No, make it
is
even
playing
better.
tomorrow.
Make it even better. Better. We got Jackie Touche Touchard. Jackie the Touche Touchard. Oh, I can see it now.
Nope.
Oh, this is
Jaquet,
beautiful.
my name
This is
is
I've
beautiful.
heard about someone.
I'm gonna
named
go
Jackie.
draw a flyer.
Oh.
You can't even draw.
Hey, my last ad did very well. I know art.
Touche.
All right then.
Under his breath, tell that to the Haven Times.
And Oren gets overly excited about making a flyer for Jackie Jackie the Touche Touchard.
Touchard. Any relevance to Jackie Daytona?
I thought of that too.
I feel like that was subconsciously in my head when I said
Absolutely.
that.
Yep.
I think I was doing something prep today and I realized that you could call Jaquet Jackie.
Jackie.
And I was like, oh.
Oh. Right, so you've got your performance. I've got my sort of answer. Is it fight night time?
I've got my flyer as
Oh.
I show
Let
it
me
up
see
to
it.
you guys. Sure.
What does it look like?
It's in
No, we already
chat.
made it. We already made it.
Oh,
This
Oh
is
my
awesome.
God.
We solve problems. Monster
Monster.
hunting, crime solving, bodyguarding, ass kicking,
Kicking.
price based on scale.
Look at the thumbs up. I fucking
Iron
love
and mana. Iron and mana. Huh.
Oh.
How you figure?
Oh
Wow,
my
you
God.
have really good penmanship, Fyrn.
Yeah,
I mean, for
learned it.
writing. How did you? There's so many lines. How did you make all those lines?
That's how I was taught.
There are
My
three,
dad was
4.
very big into teaching me magic. He wanted to make sure I had a good core.
Oh, you have
Very
a good
important to
core.
have a strong core. everything
Jacques
you
as he
do.
slaps Fyrn's abs. You have a very strong core, my friend.
Absolutely amazing.
There's no contact information. How are they going to get in contact with us, Fyrn?
Oh shit. I write at the bottom. See Oren.
Yeah.
To be
That's
honest, you
great.
spelled everything correctly. That's surprising to me.
Yeah, I get that my picture isn't really great. It really doesn't do me justice, but I've got all the important information on there, I think.
Well, you didn't have the contact info, but that's okay.
That's what editors are for, yeah? Proofreading?
How do you know what proofreading is? You don't even read books.
Just because I don't read them doesn't mean I can't read them.
Okay. I
Think
just
that's
don't
funny.
understand how you your knowledge of the publishing system and how it works. Well, it doesn't
Hey,
matter.
you didn't even know what a typewriter was.
Yeah, you didn't even
That's
know
right.
what there was.
That's right. That's right. All right. Take it back. I forgot about that. You know what? I learned a lot. Well, no, I lost it. Nope.
That's okay.
To the utter business then.
Yeah,
Right.
just So,
We can talk you up there. Touche,
Yeah, it's about that time.
Jacquet Touchard is just that's it.
Nope. Sorry, pal. Touche, touchard. That's what it is. Also, Sean, I realized I forgot to ask the one thing I fucking wanted to ask my patron. So instead of that, while we're walking to the outer business, I want to Saskia, I will suddenly remember fuck, and I want to look around for somebody who's
Yeah.
familiar that shouldn't be walking around.
You can give me a perception check.
Great. I'm very mad at
Start
myself.
swearing,
I
Jaquet
actually
looks
want to
at
do
her
the same. Can we all do this?
and
I want
looks
to roll.
up at Fyrn and goes, "What's she swearing about now? You
Yeah,
hearing
I
something?"
Yeah, I literally would have. We'd be walking, and I literally would have just stopped and said, "Fuck." Ugh. I got a 18.
Sean, I got a nat 20. I don't know if we're looking for the same person, but I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay. So Sass, I mean, you don't really see anyone familiar out there.
Great.
Fyrn, you don't know who she's looking for, so you.
I was thinking about it, and I'm just looking for a gray-haired man who I remember from the past. We were hunting for some reason, and I'm saying that as Fyrn, not as me. I know what it is.
Great.
The guy who stole some of Saskia's money.
Oh,
in
yes,
session
yes. The pickpocket.
Right.
Fucking Kieran.
That's who Fyrn's looking out for.
I love that,
Fucking
actually.
Kieran.
Fyrn, yeah, you see him.
Literally on our way out, Fyrn grabs this guy by the scruff of like his shirt, lifts him in the air, and goes, "I don't remember who you are, but I remember."
Hey, what are you doing to me?
You.
What's going
Wait.
on?
You know this guy?
You fucking stole from me.
How could anyone steal from her? She doesn't have anything to steal.
Fuck off. He stole from me. This is why I have nothing.
I've never seen any of you in my life.
Yeah, you're fucking full of shit.
You, he's like panicking, clearly.
Yeah.
Oh,
What you got? Cough it up. Whatever you've got.
Joke's on you, lass. I got nothing. Check my pockets. Nothing here. And he's not on anything. Like, Fyrn's holding him, so he, like, puts his hand on his waist and, like, mimes leaning against, like, a table. And then just kind of realizes he looks ridiculous. I've never stolen anything in a day in my life. And I don't remember any of your faces. Check my pockets. Nothing there. Nothing to take. I'm poor. I'm a pauper. I'm begging. I'm begging out here.
Oh, wait, no. Now I remember. When he started begging, that's when it jogged my memory. He was the one who went behind the bar, right, and got me drinks that he pretended to work here.
Oh, I remember you. As he holds his arms out, still being held up by his cloak. That's right. I got you some free drinks.
Yeah, and then you fucking stole my purse. The coin purse. I want it back.
Remember that part.
I'd like it back, please.
Jaquet is going to search this man, just pilfer through his pockets.
Yep. Go ahead and give me an investigation check with advantage because Fyrn is holding on to him.
Could I
argue for something else?
No, wait.
You're.
I'm looking at sleight of hand, but I don't.
Sleight of hand is to conceal things, not to find things.
Yeah. I just wanted to get it better.
I know.
18.
All right, that is exactly what you needed. So you would actually find Sass's actual coin purse on him. And when you take it out, you know immediately when you grab it. You open it, and there is 1 silver in there.
Thank you.
I told you, I'm just a pauper. Poor man,
Well,
begging on the
You only
streets.
had. I'm sorry. Wait, Saskia, you had 1 silver on you.
yeah, and it was mine. And he
No,
fucking stole it.
she had more than that. I mean,
I didn't even remember. And you were just...
See, you didn't even remember. You didn't even care about your coin. It was better for me. Helped me get drunk.
You spent it all.
Yeah, and I had a good time.
You're a fucking asshole.
Well, you got away with it for a while, but the gig's up, buddy. So, what was your name again?
Kieran,
Kieran.
will you let me down now? You got your coin purse back.
Sure thing. I throw him out.
And you see,
I tap my hands and say, if I ever see you around here again, you'll get the same treatment. Now
Hey.
fuck off.
And Jaquet walks over to him and kind of kneels down, and he goes, and if you ever looking for some work and, maybe want to use those sticky fingers for something better, I'll be here tomorrow evening.
right,
I won't be.
right, all right. Okay.
Jaquet kisses his fingers and just plants it on the forehead of Kieran and goes, good lad, and gets up.
And you see, he just kind of like, he gets up and dusts himself off and adjusts his jacket and looks at the three of you and just like looks to Fyrn, and like Fyrn, I imagine, is giving him a glare, and he kind of like winces at that. Looks to Sass, who's giving him the bitch face there, and then looks to Jaquet, and like the fear, like it's a slow transition from fear to resentment to confusion as he looks at Jaquet, and then runs away back up towards Grass Alley.
Okay, he's going the same direction we were gonna go. It's gonna
He's
be
going
awkward.
a lot faster, though. No, it'll be fine.
You sure you don't want to get one drink here before we head out?
No, I'm always down for a drink. We owe Orin it. Orin, hey, wait a minute. Could you get us around, please?
He looks at you and like you're like half out the door, so he's like, "Oh, is you able to go?"
No,
No.
we'll stay for a bit.
All right then. Go grab a seat. I'll bring it over. All three of you?
And Jaquet.
And what you want? You want some brown? You want some clear?
Brown will be good.
All right. And you can all take a seat, and eventually he will return to you all with just a couple brown ales. No, you only gave him a silver, so. And you have your drinks, and you can sit and take a load off before heading over. I mean, it's like 3:00 in the afternoon, so fight night's not going to start for like 5 hours anyway. So you can take a moment to relax after justice has been dealt out. And I think this is a place where we're going to end for today. And when we come back to next week, we will partake in fight night and then see what else you all want to do until you're reunited with the nerds.
Sounds good.
All right, folks, thank you for hanging out with us for what was not unexpectedly became a very serious session.
Yeah.
But I think for the better, because it was a very fun scene and fight.
Also, I feel like this isn't the first time we've killed off characters when people are missing.
Yep. Yeah.
When was the last time that happened?
Oh,
Was it
maybe
Scarlet?
it was. Yeah, it could have been
Was it
when
Scarlet?
Scarlet died.
No, everyone was here when Scarlet
No, I was
died.
here- Yeah.
There's definitely been episodes where like 1 or 2 people have been missing, and like big things happened when it was otherwise not going to be big. But okay, we are gonna send a raid on over to Total Party Chill. So give them our love over there, and we will see you next week. We also have the Power Hour this Sunday, and I did stream on Wednesday last week, so let's try to keep the progress going. And I'm gonna try to stream Wednesday night. We might not do the same thing. I did a little bit of editing. We might do a little bit of that, but I'll probably paint Fyrn and Sass instead.
Those maps.
And potentially work on a map too. And almost certainly play a little bit of Diablo 4.
Spicy.
And yeah, and then of course the Power Hour on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then we will return 6:30 Eastern time here next Mundog. to see Fight Night and what else they do before the nerds come back. We will be off on the 14th, and then the whole crew will be back the week after. So go ahead and give Total Party Chill our love, and we will see you all in Paradise. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.